welcome in to our Jacksonville Football Friday event. We're glad to have you along here. Brad Caldwell sitting next to me is Randy Pickerel from D3 Auto Sales. Appreciate Randy for being here. Randy's a lover of high school sports.
Yeah, that's what it's about. D3 as well. We support.
Yes,
We try to take care of everybody we can. Uh, but everybody there likes sports. We get
right,
together on Saturday mornings and we're talking about what happened on Friday night.
right.
So,
So
uh,
he's here with us. Going to be here all day long. And then we got Duran Miller. What did you say when we were the razor wire? It was what was your title? You
Um,
remember?
Bill gave me that, but it
It
was
was the Rain
the
Man,
Rain Man of Arkansas Razorback Sports.
the Rain Man of Arkansas Razorback Sports,
Poor
Duran Miller.
man's Rick Schaefer.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to be here, and as we get ready to talk some high school football, and we're going to be doing this every Friday. Well, probably till December now. I mean, we'll be somewhere at a football game, and we'll probably be doing something on Friday morning as well. As we're getting you kicked off, as it's time, guys. It's time once again. It's crazy. Here we are in the middle of the year. We're about 6 weeks away from the start of high school football season, and it's just something that we live for.
yeah, can't wait for it to get going. It's miss it every year. High school basketball is pretty fun too, but there's so much of it, it's hard to keep up with it.
State tournament time is great,
It's
but
state
you're
tournament.
right.
The weekly games are,
Yeah,
it's just so many and
there's so
it's so
much. Yeah,
spread out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're definitely excited. Getting to talk to these coaches and players today is going to be a lot of fun. We love bringing that to you, and we're just getting geared up here for Friday night. We all miss it.
yeah. So we've got we're going to be giving you quite a bit here very quickly. It's going to be kind of like drinking from a fire hose here for till about 2:30, as we've got schools already lining up. So I'm going to turn it over here to you guys as I got to go to Texas,
well,
and so
uh,
I know you guys will hold the fort down.
not saying I'm envious of that either. Exactly.
Well, I'm going to a Texas Rangers ball game, but I'm going to be watching as we go, and I'm looking forward to it. But we're going to turn it over to you guys, and we're going to bring in Parkview here as our first team to get things kicked off. And we've got the offensive coordinator from Parkview, Mr. Vander Bowden.
All right, go ahead, bring them in. Yeah, that's fine. All right, like Brad said, we got the offense coordinator here for the Parkview Patriots, Mr. Vander Belden. Coach, talk to me a little bit about last year. Went 9-4, made it to the semis. Tough loss at the end. Losing to Lakeside 24-22. Or actually, that's when you beat them. You lost 25-21, very similar game.
hmm
On the flip side that time, after beating them back on Halloween, tell me how it kind of ended down the stretch.
Well, this is my first year at Parkview, but
I got you.
so I wasn't there for all that, but obviously paid close attention to it,
Right.
and I think, they played really good down the stretch,
Yes, sir.
pretty young, um, and I was shocked to see that score because, and I watched the game when they went to Lakeside and beat them,
Mhm.
and, they really ran the ball well against them, and then they get in the playoffs and ran the ball well against them, and, I thought they had every opportunity to win the game, but that's what happens when you get in big games.
That's what happens in the
You know,
playoffs.
you
Yes,
make
sir.
the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to
Right.
win. So,
And it was so tough last year down the stretch there. Lakeside and obviously Robinson and Parkview, and I mean Hot Springs was making some noise late in the year.
hmm
Um, just so competitive, a lot of parity
hmm
right there at the end. Really good teams, but a great season overall. But you alluded to, y'all were young, and so
hmm
where were you last year?
so I was actually at Farmington last year.
Farmington,
Yes,
great.
sir.
So under a legend up there,
Yep,
and
Tommy
so
Tice, he's a
yes, sir.
legend.
Oh yeah. Always great interview. Talking to we interviewed him. I think it was 2 years ago up at Farmington. That first year coming in, and
hmm
just yeah, like you said, a legend. Um, but yeah, I mean, you come into this Parkview team pretty excited about what you got coming back. It sounds
Absolutely,
like you got some guys that got some playing time under their belts now. Tell me
absolutely.
about some of those guys.
You know, uh, we're going to be a really young football team again. That ninth grade class last year, a lot of those guys are going to play for us. They're going to be sophomores.
Mhm.
But a lot of them saw some playing time last year, as they got down the stretch into the
Nice.
playoffs and things of that nature. So, We're really excited. Of course, we got a really good senior class as
Mhm.
well, to help continue that standard of Parkview.
Yes, sir.
We talked about it just a second ago. They're a play or two away from playing for another state title,
Right.
You
which
got
is crazy.
you got a freshman, I mean, a sophomore running back that was pretty special in junior high, correct?
Yes, sir. Sadiq Goji.
Yes, I done told you about. We have a connection to Parkview.
Okay.
One of your assistant coaches is from Desart, so
Yes,
whenever
yes,
he
yes.
this
Coach
come
Morton.
about, he texts me. He said, "Hey man, can you help me out?" Yeah, I can help you out. So I got us connected with Arkansas Sports Network. Got him a little highlight
Yeah.
film put on. So
He's a great kid too.
yeah,
Great kid. That's something, you know, being at Farmington last year, and I've spent a lot of my time up in Northwest Arkansas coaching and coming down to Parkview. You know, it's been crazy because the kids are great. You
Right.
know, the coaches are great. The administration is great at Parkview. I've really, really enjoyed it. You know,
Nice.
when I went and met the principal, he's the ex-basketball coach, won a state title there. He takes a lot of pride in it, and that's something that I think is special about Parkview is, everybody that works there really came from there. And they want to come back and be a part of it. And it really is. Coach Bolden always talks about, it's a family here, and it really, really is.
Yes, sir.
well, that's important. In high school sports is that family atmosphere.
Absolutely. We've got somebody out there watching every day, whether it's the AD or the principal or the security. Every day, somebody's out there watching us practice. So it's pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about stepping in under another legendary coach in Bobby Boating, and what that's been like so far through this off season since you've been under him, and
Hmm.
also losing Brad as he went back over to North Little Rock. Um, you know, Parkview's on, was it 3 in a row before that, right?
Yes, sir. Three in a
And
row.
just almost unbeatable inside their conference. And to still go 9-4 for a very young team is just special. So just tell me a little bit about how your relationship's going with Bobby so far.
It's been awesome. It's crazy the opportunities I've had to get to work for Tommy Tice,
Right.
and the legend that he is, and then to go from that to working for Bobby Bolden. So it's been really, really cool, and you learn a lot.
Yes,
They're
sir.
two very different guys, but a lot of those guys, I've kind of noticed this in working for both. A lot of the guys, they have a lot of similarities,
Yes, sir.
in how they run their program and the standard of which they hold their coaches and the kids, and so it's been really, really cool to get to see, the way Coach Tice does things and then the way Coach Bolden does things. And like I said, there's a lot of similarities between the two, honestly.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're soaking it all up, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you been with Parkview all summer?
Yes, I got there this spring. So was there through spring ball and been with them all summer.
So Bobby's a defensive minded guy. Is he still the actual DC as well? Does he call the plays defensively, or you got
No,
somebody?
sir, he does not.
Okay,
Coach Chandler, he's our defensive
Chandler.
coordinator, he calls it. So does a great job. Does a really good job. Some days too good of a job for me because
It's hard to
he
get your
he can
offense
get me
going.
in trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
But
They're asking, "Hey, what's wrong with the offense?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. Some days it's not great, but
Well, that's
no, he does
good.
a
That's
great job.
I've seen the teams past that. If the offense just blows to the defense, it's not usually a very good year.
No, it's not. So no, but
Yes,
it's
sir.
it's been awesome. It's been good. And Coach Bolden, I think he's to the point in his career where he really cares about developing young coaches and giving back to the football community, and that's been special because he really does a great job of that. And same way with Coach Tice.
Yes, sir. Well, you're definitely building a great coaching tree that you're under. That like he said, like Randy said, you're just soaking it all up. Lots of experience from some legends. So, let's talk a little bit more about who you got coming back this year. We've
Hmm.
we've hit on Sadiq a little bit. Tell me some of your other kind of up and coming guys
Hmm.
and some of your headliners as well.
Well, the first guy I want to talk about is Carmelo Johnson.
Hmm.
He's a returning wide receiver DB for us. Great kid. I've been coaching for 10 years now, and he's one of my favorite kids. He's special.
Yeah,
He's really, really special. Got a great attitude, great leader. I know he's got a few offers out there, and
nice.
he's a special kid, not just as a football player, but as a
As a
young
kid.
man. Yeah, so he's a really good one. We got Marcus Barnes coming back at running back.
Hmm.
He's a guy that's going to carry the football for us. Great kid, good leader. He's going to be a senior. Uh, Breon Bailey is another guy for us. He plays wide receiver. He'll play some wide receiver and defensive back for us. He's kind of the leader of that group. Um, really good kid. Of course, Bryce Davis played
Mhm.
offensive line for him last year,
Nice.
and he actually has shifted over to. He's going to play fullback for us this year.
Oh,
Had a
wow.
really, really good off season.
You know, that's pretty special if you can go from the line
Wow.
to the
Uh,
fullback
Sounds
position.
like
he's
Mitch
having the time of
Petrus.
his
I
life, let
bet
me
he
tell you.
is.
But he's another guy that he's a special, special kid.
Did he trim up any for it,
He
or
did.
a little
He
bit,
did. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
20, 30 pounds, or what would you
Yeah,
say?
he lost a few pounds, but
Yeah.
he was a little light last year, and then
Right.
this off season he had a big off season, lost some fat and gained a lot of muscle.
You know if he was a guard or a tackle last
I
year?
believe he was a guard last
Right.
year. Yes, sir.
Guy you like pulling, obviously.
Yeah,
Reminds me of Mitch Petrus at Arkansas from Carlisle. That
Mm,
you know, they moved him. He was a fullback for a while.
yeah.
Then he was an all SEC for sure guard,
yeah.
one of the best ever. So that sounds exciting. I know that guys like Barnes and Sadiq will love running behind a guy like that. I'm
Oh,
sure.
there's no doubt that, and he's going to play defensive end for us as well, and he does
Nice.
a great job. Like I said, sometimes when he's over there and we're on offense, he does too good of a job.
Right.
So, how many players are you having play both ways? I mean, you've called off several players, and several of them you've had both offense and
Right.
defense. So that, I mean, is that pretty common at Parkview?
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna really right now it's kind of a trial and error phase. We'll kind of figure out who. The more you can cross train kids, the better they're going to
Right.
be.
Right.
Regardless of what side of the ball they wind up on.
Especially when injuries and stuff pop up.
Absolutely longevity of the season. So we've got a few kids that we're cross training both sides just to kind of see, and then as we get into the season and kids mature, we're going to hopefully be able to really hone in on who's playing what side of the ball. But
Yes,
this
sir.
summer has really been kind of about developing those kids, so building depth.
Well, let's talk about your schedule coming in this year. Who do y'all start off with?
We start off with I believe it is Pine Bluff.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yep,
I'm trying to pull up the current one. I got last year's pulled up right now, but
yep, we're at Pine Bluff on August 28th. So
yes, sir.
open up there.
So yeah, you got Pine Bluff and Lone Oak, Greenbrier. Going to Greenbrier, it's gonna be a tough one.
That's going to be a hard one.
You're gonna be right here on October 2nd
Mm-hmm.
against Jacksonville, getting into conference play, and then you got Maumelle at Robinson. That's always tough. BB, you'll have them at home. Then you go on the road to Bologna and end up with Mills at home. So there's really not any breathing room in
No,
that
there's
schedule.
not.
I mean,
No, there's
that
not.
is
That's pretty tough.
very tough schedule. Lots. Some of these teams got new coaches. Maumelle, Swinton over here at Jacksonville. So I mean, it's y'all definitely aren't shying away from a good competition. And last year it was a rough start for Parkview. They started 1-3
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up 9-4. So um, but this year obviously more experience, from last season. So
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about what y'all have kind of are you bringing a new offense from what they ran last year? What do you run? What's your philosophy offensively?
Well, we're doing Coach Bolden what he wants to do offensively, and me and him get along and both have the same thought process on it. When you got guys back there that can carry the football, you want to hand it off to them.
Right.
So,
Are y'all still running out of the spread?
yeah, we are. We
Okay.
are. You'll probably see, maybe some more tight end stuff, but for the
Right.
most part, it's going to be pretty much the same as last year.
Right. Okay.
So,
Nice. Um, at Parkview, it's always basically at this point, it's state or bust. So
hmm
tell me about how it's felt with that, stepping into this role and that pressure and kind of how Coach Boating has worked with you on that and
yeah,
kind of set y'all's mindset and kind of, put you under his wing a little bit
yeah.
about that kind of pressure on what y'all got to do this year.
Well, I think number one, the kids expect to win.
Yes, sir.
They don't like to lose. They're not used to losing, and that's a great thing. And so overall, as a staff and as a team culture, and you know, that's kind of our thing. Parkview wins. That's what
Right.
we do.
Yes, sir.
And so it's been really cool to see the level. Kids hold each other accountable in that, and coaches hold
Nice.
each other accountable in that, because that's the expectation. And that's what we're going to continue to do at Parkview is we're going to continue to win. Um, like I said, we've talked about this, with younger classes, and the future's bright. It really is at Parkview. So
Yes, sir.
it's been exciting. I've enjoyed it for sure. So I'm
Did you,
excited to get in there, and get it rolling this season. So,
Did you high school in Arkansas? Excuse me.
did I play in?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I played at Mountain Home.
At Mountain Home.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice.
Yep. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Coach, excellent information. It sounds very exciting. If you're watching from Parkview today, y'all already expect to win, and 1 year away from winning 3 in a row. And ended up in the semis last year with a young
Mhm.
team. Got a bunch of starters back.
Mhm.
It is a tough schedule. There's a lot of really good teams. A lot of coaches have shifted around, but I mean, it sounds like Parkview has a great chance to be right there,
Well,
in the conversation at the end.
and like I said, we got a really great. I don't want to sit here and talk about the young guys. We got a great senior class.
Yes, sir.
I got a list here I could go
Yeah.
down of
Give me a
Dylan
few of 'em.
Fields and Goodman and Ty Jordan. He's an offensive and defensive lineman for us. Prince, defensive line for us. So we got a really really good senior class,
Yes, sir.
and I think that's really important. What you guys are talking about to continue that tradition of winning because they've been there.
Yes, sir.
You got to think of this class. They've been to a state title and won it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so they know that expectation and they know what practice has to look like. They know what the weights has to look like. They know what the running has to look like. So I think that's really important for these young guys to
Yes.
continue to build that program and continue that expectation of what we were talking about.
Right.
They
Oh,
probably didn't like last year's taste at all.
Right.
No, they did not. It didn't take me long to figure that out being there.
Yeah.
There's a chip on their shoulder. So
And like you said, those guys have already won it. They didn't like didn't like the taste last year. And they have those kind of guys that are leaders as seniors, a big senior group like that coming back. I mean, that's got to be huge, to help lead those younger guys like you were just mentioning.
absolutely.
That's usually a recipe for a lot of success. So,
Yeah.
sounds very exciting, Coach. We appreciate your time, though. Thank you for coming in here,
Absolutely.
talking
Thank
to
you
us.
guys so much.
That is the
Nice
offense
meeting you, buddy.
coordinator here for Parkview, Mr. Vander Belden, and he is excited taking over the offense coordinator duties here at Parkview, and they're geared up to have a great season.
Hope so.
All right, we're gonna
Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate
yes,
you
sir.
guys.
Good luck. We're gonna take a little break. We'll be back with our next team. Looks like we've got Cersei in the house.
Yes, sir.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Look, everybody's talking about D3 Auto Sales, and I say to myself, there must be something special about this dealership, and it's their prices. You can get one of these vehicles right up here for not a lot of money, right? That's D3 Auto Sales in Desart, d3autosales.com.
All right, we are live back here. We've got Head coach Zach Clark of the Cersei Lions here with us today. Excited to have you with us here, Coach Clark. Longtime fan. Obviously, made a joke with you about
Yeah,
your days with the Razorbacks. You're off camera there, but um, actually, my first game that I ever get to go to in person was 2001.
really.
That Tennessee game where the Lightning,
Yeah,
we had all those
yeah,
delays.
yeah.
Um, Good times though, and of course, you played under head coach Houston Nutt,
Hmm.
and had a lot of fun games that year and throughout your career. But thank you for joining us today. This is your sixth season. Is that
Correct.
correct? At Cersei,
Hmm.
been there a while now. Um, just coming off a pretty good year. Talk to me a little bit about how last year ended.
We certainly, I mean, it built a lot of momentum.
Yes, sir.
Finished 9-2. Had our two losses were to the two teams that played for the state championship. Um, had we were hoping to make a deeper run in the playoffs, but ran into a good team at Lakeside. Obviously, Robinson was in our conference.
Yes, sir.
Had a lead at halftime and kind of gave it up. Hopefully, we can build off last year where we're more a year more mature. We have a lot of seniors, a lot of returning starters and returning guys that helped,
Yes, sir.
and we're looking forward to this year.
You know, that's big. You got a lot of
Mhm.
kids returning. Your quarterback's got better year under his belt, another year. I was just looking. Y'all went 5-0 on the road last year.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. I
yeah.
mean, kids aren't afraid to go on the road and win. Uh, so
You
Yeah.
know, we've got we've got a veteran bunch. A lot of them played as sophomores. Obviously, our quarterback Jacob Miles started all 11 games as a sophomore quarterback, but we've returned, like I said, quite a few. I think our offensive line is all juniors, and quarterback
Well,
is a junior. We've got a couple of underclassmen on defense that'll start, and everybody else will be seniors.
yes, sir. Off top of your head, what would you say your returning starters are offense, defense? About eight on each
Oh, I
side?
think it's 5 on offense and then 9 on defense.
Nice, nice. Yeah, your two losses to Robinson and Lakeside, the teams that played for the state championship, you gave up some points in those, but obviously with nine guys back on defense and a quarterback that was a sophomore that's got a whole year under his belt now, sounds like you've got a really good chance to even get better this year.
We
So,
we feel good about this bunch.
yes, sir.
We're excited. I mean, nobody's going to give you anything in July.
Right.
yeah,
We've got to go out and earn it. But our guys, we're bigger and stronger. Work hard. Coach Bo Weddle has really transformed us in the weight room.
Nice.
We've had now
Carlisle
a
boy.
couple of that's right, Carlisle guy. He's actually our defensive. So we lost both coordinators. Um, our defense coordinator retired. Excuse me. Bo Weddle is going to take over as defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Summer's gone outstanding. Um, looking forward to having him running the defense, and we feel, like I said, we feel good going into this
Yes,
season.
sir.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I say we've got 9 returning starters that are seniors. Actually, Carter Blanchard was out all year, and we're excited to have him back. We didn't,
Yes, sir.
he started as a sophomore, but we lost him. I think it was Bo Weddle that said, coming out of we had the Sonic Air Raid yesterday.
Y'all did pretty good there, right?
We did.
Yeah, we heard
We
about
ended up
that.
winning it. Um, but the best thing was we came. This is the first year that we came out of that tournament with no injuries. Last year we
Yeah,
lost
it's
Carter
big.
and another senior, uh, almost lost Carter for the year and lost another junior last year for the majority of the season. So, we're healthy. Hopefully we can finish up our last few team camps, in good health and get ready for the season.
Yes, sir.
Being healthy is through the summer is big.
Yeah,
It doesn't
absolutely.
do any good to get hurt
Right,
in the summertime.
right.
Now, down the road, okay, whatever, but summertime is bad because you're
That's
always
right.
what if.
That's right.
Right. So got Carter Blanchard back at safety now, looking for a big year. Was he used heavily in the Sonic Air Raid
Oh,
tournament?
absolutely. All these, these guys were defensively really, we had a great summer. I mean, 7-on-7 is an offensive type game.
Yes.
But I thought our this year our defense, as long as I've been at Cersei, it's the best defensive we've had.
Nice. That's impressive and something to be excited about if you're listening from Cersei today. Talk to me a little bit about all your kind of what your offense is, your philosophy, what y'all run, and a little bit about your defense, and also on Weddle. Was he the strength and conditioning coach last year? Was he promoted
Yes,
within? Okay,
yes,
yes,
yes.
sir. All right. So yeah,
So
talk to me about the offense.
we, offensively, obviously, we return our quarterback. He was a 3,000-yard passer last year.
Right.
Um, we've got three returning starters at receiver that can all really run. Two of them were 1,000-yard receivers.
Nice.
The other one close to 800. So, we've got three options there, and the back out of the backfield that we feel good about. Breaking in three new offensive linemen, we do return two starters. So running the football is going to be very important um, for what we do. We like to be multiple. We'd like to I don't know if it's 50-50, but have balance to where, we're a threat to both run and pass.
When
Yes,
you
sir.
got the lead, you can pound the ball and kind of ease the
Absolutely.
clock
That's
up.
when
Yeah,
that's when you need
when you have to.
to sit on it.
Y'all run out of the spread.
Pretty much. I think we'll be a little more multiple formation wise this year. We've got a junior tight end in Troy McCain.
Hmm.
Um, we lost last year. We had a kid, Cooper Jones, that was our kicker, kind of our H-back tight end, do everything. We can't replace him with one guy,
Yes, sir.
but we'll have more. Bryson's brother Hunter's a sophomore. We've got some options there at tight end, H-back, and kind of fourth wide receiver.
Yes, sir. What would you say you feel like the strengths and weaknesses are for your team this year?
I think obviously the strength is our experience that we return. I think this is no doubt the strongest and most athletic team that we've had since I've been here. And it's just not when you return a lot of experience, day one of spring ball, day one of the summer, it's not like you're starting from scratch like
Yes, sir.
some years. So it's nice to have, that continuity. This year six, the kids know how to practice. They know kind of what we're installing. We're not starting from square one.
You're not spending the first 15 minutes of practice getting everybody where they're supposed to
Correct.
be, right?
Correct.
So last year, coming off a 9-2 season, tell me how you feel right now. If you could say this, how do you feel right now about going into this year compared to how you felt going into last year?
I last year, certainly Jacob had a great year. Uh, but it's a little scary anytime you start a
Oh yeah.
sophomore quarterback. And we were excited about it, but there were a lot of unknowns. This year, I like who we're returning. We like our team. The unknown is we're going up to the 6A,
Yes,
and
sir.
we've been in the 6A before. Um, and then last cycle for 2 years we played in the 5A Central. We know it's going to be a difficult league, but we're not completely unfamiliar, but it's been
Hmm.
a few years since we've played that. That's really the only uncertainty that we have.
Looking at your schedule. Oh, go ahead,
I
Randy.
was fixing to bring that. Is there a game you have circled on your schedule? Just looking at it there.
No, I mean you can't afford to
Right.
anymore to circle one game. I think from what it appears, everybody in that 6A East, you could throw us all in a bag and jumble it up.
Oh
Who
yeah.
knows how it's going to shake up. So,
Yeah.
we've got to play. We got to play extremely well every week, and that there's no. I mean, looking at the schedule, I don't think there's a gimme. There's not one that you can
Yeah.
circle and say that we're going to win this. But I think you know we're going to have a shot if we play well
Mhm.
to be in every ball game.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's all you can ask.
Right.
Just to
We'll go
be.
down. Let's go down the schedule with you real quick. Start out. This is just conference on 8/28 at Batesville. Of course, the Pioneers, tradition rich. They kind of there for a while. Seems like about 15 years ago they were really
Hmm.
rolling. It seems like they got a little better last year. So,
Hmm.
right off the bat, you start out with them. Then you go to you're on the road the both first two conference weeks at Valley View.
Hmm.
Valley View is a team that's really just become a serious
Right.
opponent for people now. Really good squad. Then you've got El Dorado at home. That's your first home game conference wise. Of course, El Dorado, is always
Right.
tough, always in the hunt for it. You go on the road to West Memphis, and you got Jonesboro. Of course, Jonesboro's really really done a great job over the last few years, and they're always a tough team. And you got to go to Sheridan, take
Mhm.
on Coach Kelly down there, and that vaunted offense. So you're going to need those 9 returning starters defensively, counting Blanchard. And then, of course, the team that's kind of, I would say, ran that a little bit the last few years is Benton.
Right.
So you finish with them
At home.
at home. So
Sure.
that's a great one to finish on. Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, you already kind of hit it on a little
Right.
bit. There's not really any holes there.
Right.
There's not a, oh, this should be a win,
Right.
but you can't go into any game that way anyways. You know that.
Yeah.
But so who do you start out non-conference wise? I don't have that in front of me.
So we go non-conference. We'll go to Batesville. We actually play all three
Oh, okay.
non-conference games on the road. So go to Batesville. That's kind of a rival. I think traditionally has been Searcy and Batesville have been big rivals. Um, I know that we played them in junior high. They've got a really really talented sophomore class.
Mm-hmm.
And Batesville's a tough place to play. Then after that, we go to Valley View, and they've kind of had, they've kind of been the class of that 5A East. It's been,
That's
you
true.
know, we
Yeah, I was looking at that wrong. I
we've
apologize.
played them the last 2 years. They've been good, good ball games. We're 1-1 against them.
Right.
We've seen them a lot this summer. Sean Cockrell does a great job
Yes,
there.
sir.
We struggled finding a game and lucked into late having Greenbrier had an opening. So
Okay.
that's we play them in junior high. I think that'll be it's close. That'll be a good rivalry game and kind of get us ready for conference. And then, the 6A East, I think Brett Shockley is at El Dorado,
Mm,
and he really likes their team. I mean, this is his first year. He's a friend of mine.
right.
Um, he thinks, I mean, they're really athletic and they're really good up front. So that'll be a big
So
challenge
yeah.
right at, you go through, we've seen West Memphis and Marion
Mm-hmm.
in 7-on-7, and that's certainly not their strength, but boy, they're big and athletic
Yeah.
and
Always.
they can run the football. Benton, as you said, Benton's kind of they've been the class of the 6A East. I think they've won it now ever since they've been in there. When we were in the 6A, 3 years ago, 3 and 4 years ago, they were just so much uh, bigger and more physical than we were. That they frankly had their way with
Just
us.
pushed you around, did what
Just
they wanted.
pushed us around. I think we're in a better position. We are bigger and stronger, but it'll be. I'm interested to see how we handle that,
Yes,
and
sir.
we know they're going to be big and physical.
Yes, sir.
Marion's the same way. Boy, they can run the ball. They can really run on
Oh
defense.
yeah.
And then Sylvan Hills
Oh yeah. For
they
sure.
and Trey Shucker being there. I mean, he does a great job. It's going to be I mean, every week's going to be difficult. I know Kevin Kelly at Sheridan has, they've got a quarterback, supposedly the best tailback in the state.
Right.
So anyway, I mean, every week we're going to have to play really well.
Yes, sir. Well, coming off a great season, got a great group coming back. We're going to get some of your players in here. We're going to talk to them. But Coach, good luck on the year, and we really appreciate you coming up here and
Hey,
interviewing with us. And
yeah, thanks for having me. We
sounds like
enjoy
a
it.
lot of exciting things going on for Cersei right now.
Yeah, we hope so. Appreciate it.
Yep,
Thanks, guys.
nice meeting
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Coach
Yes,
All
Clark.
right.
sir.
All right, we'll just get one in at a time, or you want me to?
Yeah, just go
Yeah,
ahead and do
we'll
two at a
bring two
time.
in at a time, and go ahead and give me we'll take Miles and Thompson. We'll get the
All
offense in
right.
there
Get the
first.
offense in there first.
Offense wins the games, right? We'll get the defense in.
Defense wins.
Sorry, the old cliche. Gotta let the cliches go. I want to thank our sponsors. We got the Cersei Booster Club, big sponsor here today for the Cersei Lions. Behind us, you see on our backdrop here, we've got the First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Just really doing a great job. I want to thank all of our major sponsors as always. D3 Auto Sales, Randy here representing for them. Tyson Foods, Metcalf Trucking, and who am I missing now? Arkansas Tech University. We also want to thank Warp Stream. We're going to get a link on that in the bio. And Toad Thumper Lures. I want to appreciate Toad Thumper Lures. And big sponsor with this. We really appreciate them. Appreciate all of our sponsors. We can't do it without them. All right, we've got Jacob Miles here, right here to my left, quarterback, 3,000-yard passer last year. Miles, talk to me a little bit about what you got coming back. Coach was telling me you got a little bit of a younger offensive line. Some, got 2 starters back.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about how the line's coming together and just kind of how everything else is working out in your skill
I think
guys.
it's going well. We got all three receivers coming back.
Hmm.
We're bigger and stronger up front, probably younger, but I think it'll come together well.
Yes, sir. You got pretty good size, you think?
Yes, sir. We're bigger than last year. We're just younger.
Awesome. Well, I've also got Bryson Thompson with me over here, number 12. One of those 3 receivers. Were you one of the 2,000-yard guys? Couple thousand-yard guys? Or are you
No,
the
I was
800
just
one?
short.
Okay.
Just short.
What are you like an X, Y, Z? What do you
I
play?
play Z.
You played a Z? Okay. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like last year. Are you a junior or senior?
I'm a senior
You're
this
a
year.
senior. Tell me about your quarterback here and what he did last year as a sophomore. Is that impressive?
Yeah, Jacob was great as a sophomore. I mean, everyone kind of knew his talent and kind of what he was bringing to Cersei. I think everyone's just a little nervous about such a young quarterback starting.
Yes, sir.
But he came in and he led us 9-2 season, best we've had in a really long time.
Hmm.
Kind of unfortunate with the 2 losses we had in the first round of the playoffs, but I mean, Jacob, it comes so naturally to him. He did great, and we're super proud of him. Can't wait to see what he's going to do this year.
Is he a guy that can take off and run when he needs to?
Oh, yeah, he can.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he can.
right. um, so uh, tell Bryson, sorry, tell me about your the air raid that y'all just did yesterday, the Sonic air raid. Winning that and kind of how y'all looked out there.
Well, I mean, the last couple of years we've been there, we've done pretty solid. Last year I think we lost in like the semis, so we had high hopes coming into the air raid this year. Kind of hoping to come in there and win the whole thing this time and kind of rolling through the games. We know what we can do offensively and we trust our defense. So, with the 3 guys, me, Jackson, Will, I mean, all crazy good receivers. We have a young guy at tight end, Troy. He's pretty solid too. So, when you have 3 guys who are running 4s, 4.5s, I mean,
Nice.
it makes Jacob's job a little easier to
Yeah.
get that ball out. So, coming in and finally winning the air raid was something we've been trying to do for quite a while, so it felt pretty great. Finally being able to go and do that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I bet. Tell me about y'all's guys off season. Are you bigger, faster, stronger than last year?
Oh,
Tell me.
for sure.
Definitely.
Especially returning everybody. I mean, 9 out of 11 are on defense. Our D line's really good.
Yes,
So,
sir. Well, I meant more like individually as well, though. Like your individual numbers.
oh, yes, sir, for
Weight
sure.
up, speed.
For
How's that
sure.
going?
Yeah. I mean, we lift 4 days a week, and so in overtime it kind of comes together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean that's something they've tried to push really hard is us in the weight room trying to get our numbers up, our weight up. So they do weight checks every week. I mean, like Jacob said, we're lifting 4 times a week. We're out there on the field doing speed work. I mean, there's really no breaks when
Yes,
it
sir.
comes to us. So
Talk to me about your offense a little bit. Do y'all run a lot of RPOs as
Yes,
well?
sir. That's one of the base of our offense is read it quick, get it out, and let our guys make plays.
Bryson, tell me about Jacob here, how he does on his progressions and
I mean,
guys he's keying in on.
like I said, it just comes so naturally to him. Like I
Hmm.
don't know, he just knows what he's doing. He goes out there, he's confident in himself. He was like I said, sophomore starting at a quarterback's a big role. So he just came in and he held his head up and he was confident in his talent, his capabilities, and he just goes out there and does what he does.
Is there
Um,
a Yes, sir? Is there a certain team that either one of y'all are really stoked to play this year that you kind of got in the back of your mind? You can't wait to play that one, or
Uh,
you might not want to say, or you might.
no,
Don't give them any fodder for
definitely
sure.
all of them, but we play
Yeah.
Harding in the benefit,
Hmm.
so crosstown. Kind of looking forward to that, even though it's a scrimmage.
Right.
yeah,
Marion, El Dorado, all of them
Yes,
for
sir.
sure.
Benton,
Yep.
excited to see
Yep.
it. Jonesboro, really just all of them.
Who's the funniest guy on the team?
It's got a team.
Funniest guy.
Tough pick. What do you think?
Might be you.
Some would say me. Some would say Jaden Simmons.
Yeah.
Shout out Jaden Simmons. Yeah.
Pre-game meal. What's your go-to? It's whatever they're serving y'all,
I
or
don't know. I like when they give us chicken.
yeah.
Chicken spaghetti's my favorite.
Okay.
We did like tacos one time, like
Yeah,
Mexican
tacos is pretty
tacos.
good.
That was good.
That spaghetti, get the carb loading.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta,
Yes,
help you out in
sir.
the fourth quarter there.
Mm-hmm.
Any pregame rituals that you can share? That anything superstitious at all? Either one of you?
Not really.
Clark is. Nothing can change.
Oh,
Everything's
Coach
got to
Clark,
be the
yeah.
same.
Coach Clark likes a
From the
straight
time, yeah.
schedule.
As soon as the pep rally or whatever's over, it's silence. No
Yeah.
talking.
Y'all got any kind of like certain songs they play at every pep rally or anything? Like y'all got like a theme or anything that's like,
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
that's y'all's thing?
That's kind
Alma
of our thing.
mater. We'll play at the end of them.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
our alma mater.
All right. Well, guys, appreciate y'all
Yes,
coming up
sir.
here.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. We'll get a couple more of your players in here. That was Jacob Miles, the junior quarterback, 3,000-yard passer, can do it with his legs as well. And Bryson Thompson, wide receiver, 800 yards receiving last year. Two really good kids, great interviews. Get two more in here. We're going to have Carter Blanchard, number 5. He's a safety. And number 1, Derek Young, cornerback. The cornerback or what? I'll wait till you get your headset on. Sorry. You got two returning starters at corner or just one?
We just have one returning starter.
So
That's
you?
DY.
Yeah. That's okay. Right. Talk to me about what it's like playing for Coach Clark, guys.
Playing with Coach Clark is great. He definitely holds us to a higher standard that I feel like other coaches hold us to. But especially going off of last year, I feel like he's gonna make us help us out a lot this year to be great.
What's your thoughts on that?
I actually love Coach Clark. His toughness is like unbelievable. He tries his hardest every practice, every game.
Mm-hmm.
Just the little things like helmets taken off, put him back on the
Right.
sideline. Like
That's
I
a
like
big deal,
that.
I think. I agree.
Yeah, he'll.
Yeah.
It's all the small things for him. That's what he feels like a championship team has. It's a clean locker room,
Right.
water bottles in the carriages, like everything like that.
I mean, it really it's sometimes it sounds like it's not a big deal, but those types of things, attention to detail, the little things, helping y'all be disciplined, it just goes a long way. It's kind of like making your bed first thing in the morning. It's already done. You don't have to worry about it. Makes everything better. Great stuff there. Talk to me a little bit about both y'all on the defensive side. Y'all both played in the air raid.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that went. Y'all, of course, y'all go both ways a little bit. Play a little bit of receiver, or y'all
I'm
both just
fully
defensive?
free safety.
Okay.
But the air raid went great, and we also won the Hoxie tournament. So
Yeah.
we haven't lost a 7-on-7 game this year.
Awesome.
So it's definitely boosted our momentum a little bit, and just
Mm-hmm.
a little glimpse of what's going to happen during the season.
Yeah. DY, what do you got? You got thoughts on that?
I
How it went?
think yesterday we only got scored on about like 3 or 4 times.
Getting picks?
I
Either one of y'all?
got a couple.
Nice.
We had like 11 picks in total yesterday, so we
Yeah.
had a lot of turnovers.
Nice. Who y'all think's the funniest guy on the team?
Funniest guy on the team.
Probably either Jaden Simmons.
Jaden Simmons is the funniest guy on the team without trying to
Okay.
be funny.
Right. I
Okay,
got you.
yeah.
Is there a guy that's like y'all's crazy dude in the locker room when you're getting ready to come out of the tunnel, go out on the field that kind of gets y'all fired up? Anybody in particular that does anything like that? You gotta slap them in the face to get them going, anything like that?
Uh, Maybe Bryson.
Yeah,
Bryson.
Bryson might be one
Yeah,
of them ones.
I would say Bryson.
Nice. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming up here.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
got really exciting season coming up. It sounds like moving up to 6A, it's going to be a tall task. You got a really tough schedule, but a lot of returning guys. Sounds like y'all built a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence this spring and summer so far. Keep it going and good luck.
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
that was Derek Young on my far left over there, and right here Carter Blanchard. Want to appreciate the Cersei Booster Club again for helping bring Cersei here with us today. We're going to take a break. Looks like we're going to have Stuttgart up next. We'll be back right after this.
back here on the Arkansas Sports Network. I'm Caden Hauser, joined with Josh Price, head coach of the Stuttgart Rice Birds. They had a very good season last year. He's here for his 10th year. Josh Price, thank you for joining us.
You bet, man. Glad to have you.
So looking at your offense from last year, that's what really catches my eye. Y'all had a 12-1 record and 7-0 in the conference. Y'all had 10 games where y'all scored 48 points or more and 3 games scoring 50 plus. What goes into that offensive success?
Well, just we're a very multiple offense. We do a lot of different things. We're going to throw the ball, run the ball, and then we RPO off of it. I told somebody yesterday after that 7-on-7 at Cersei, one of the biggest things that we do is what we just call glorified run games. You're throwing the ball, but it's out in the flats, and, where all receivers are blocking, those kind of deals. So quick game, a lot of people call it. So just all the multiple things that we're able to do. With our receivers and our running back and our quarterbacks, and then obviously it takes a bunch of good offensive linemen to be able to do all of those things. And we feel like we've got a good crew of them coming back. So that's gonna be a fun year.
Get your playmakers the ball out in space where they one-on-one and make somebody miss and they get a few yards, right?
That's right. Yeah, several times. We call them big mo's. Those big momentum plays. We love those. So those are some of the things we try to hang our hat on.
It doesn't always have to be that 50-yard pass down the field. It just can still be 50 yards if it's running, right?
Yeah, you still get 50 yards for it if you want to throw it one. That's right.
And you had a good habit of making those 50-yard plays, and it helps a lot whenever you have a really good quarterback running the offense, and that is your son, Kane Price, and he's entering his senior year here last year with Stuttgart. What's the connection like, having that father-son just connection? I'm sure that helps out on the field.
Yeah, it is. I've told people this is a whole lot different than I thought it would be with him growing up because, you don't really get to enjoy it as much on Friday nights when it's going on because you're still worried about the pass protection. You're worried about the routes. You're still doing the head coaching stuff. Some of the best times that I have is when I get the little clips of our guys that do our broadcast of, a touchdown play or a big play or something like that. I get it sent to me and get to watch it on Saturdays, and that's the real fun part of it. But it's been a fun run so far. Playing quarterbacks like being the head coach. I'm sure Kane had a whole lot more fun last year than he did his sophomore year when we went 5-5 because there's two people going to take the blame when you're losing: the head coach and the quarterback right off the bat, and that's every football program in the nation, not just Stuttgart. So and we know that going in. So I'm very proud of him. He works hard, and he's a great teammate to all of his teammates as well. So that's the most important part.
As the head coach and him being your son, though, I'm sure he's football smart. He has to be. I've watched him play. That's probably pretty settling for you to know that, hey, I trust what he's fixing to make this decision.
Oh, yeah.
And go on with it.
And I've told all my quarterbacks this, and Kane's the best I've ever had at this. You make me right. If I call something and it's not there, get me back to the line of scrimmage because I can do a lot of things on 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, but I can't do anything if you throw the ball to the other team.
Right.
So those are some of the things that get us out of bad plays, get us into good situations. So people have heard me for years. I've always said we need to be very efficient on offense. If you can be efficient on offense and keep the chains moving, you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You've been here 10 years, going on a decade, like I said. You've had 8 playoff appearances. That's an 80% just success rate right there just to reach the playoffs. What are you going to have to do this season to make a 9th year?
Well, we got to stay injury-free first off. That's the biggest issue we've had, when I've been at Stuttgart is losing very key players at bad times in the season. Now a lot of that's just luck. There's nothing you can do about it. But we got to stay healthy, and then we got to do a really good job of understanding. Last year we were coming off a disappointing 5-5 year, and everybody kind of we want to say you snuck up on some people. You're not doing that this year. We're the preseason #1 team in the state. We got 3 all-state players returning, about 7 all-conference players returning. So you're going to get everybody's best shot. You're going to have to come out and play your very best every game, and that's a challenge to do, especially when you get in the middle of that conference schedule when you go DeWitt, Monticello, Warren back to back to back. That's the old trick. You can look up and down every schedule in the nation, college all the way down to junior high. That roller coaster, nobody's figured that out. And if anybody had, they'd be a millionaire. So that's kind of the big thing we're concerned about is being able to get up every single week and not overlooking anybody.
Because the other team is going to be up for Stuttgart.
Correct.
You're circled on everybody's schedule right now. This time of year, it's like, all right, Stuttgart's week 3, week 4, week 5. I mean, you better be ready every time y'all go to the field, regardless of the other team's record, because they're wanting to play and beat Stuttgart.
Yep, they want to get that out there, and that's have that bullseye on your back. And the great thing about it is we got 20 seniors, and we're a very mature group, and I think they'll do a good job of policing each other and staying on each other about getting up to play.
And you have that chip on your shoulder with being the preseason #1 ranked team. You have a quarterback that's committed to a Power 5 school. Do you think being the top dog, do you think that's more beneficial to the team than a knock?
Yeah, probably. With what we've got returning and how many kids we've got back on defense and on the offensive side of the ball with our skill kids and our center back is that way they've been pushing since we started. We talked about it during spring ball. Hey, y'all are going to be the number one team in the state, so you better start preparing like it now. And we've done that all summer. Our kids have done a great job. Something they've done this year that was some of our players' ideas. Usually, if you go to a 7-on-7 or team camp, that's all you do. Well, this year we're showing up at 6:30 or 7 a.m. and lifting weights and getting 8 lifts in, and then going to team camp at 7-on-7. So just some little things like that you see as a head coach that make you proud of a group of kids.
How many linemen did you return on offense and defense?
Well, we only returned one quote unquote starter on the offensive line, our center, Christian Henson. But we also have a kid, Michael Thomas, played a lot. He played a bunch of different positions. We're taking 2 seniors that were fullback defensive end types. Luke Wittenberg and Jake Eagle are going to play some guard for us. They're both 210, 215-pound kids that are very strong in the weight room. And normally the way our offensive line looks is we're going to have big old strong offensive tackles and smaller, quicker guards for the schemes that we run. So offensive line, we're going to be fine. Trey Phillips started every game for us on the defensive line last year. He'll play left tackle for us this year. He's going to be a big-time college player. He'll be a junior, 6'3", 290, and can move. I've told people if we had more linemen, he'd play tight end for us. He's that athletic. So defensive line, we returned 9 starters on defense. We lost our will linebacker and one of our defensive ends. So we got 9 back. All 4 of our secondary back. We got 2 All-State players back over there. Adrian Smith's here today, our starting 3 technique. We actually lost him week 8 against Warren for the season with a shoulder injury, but he'll be back, and he's just a dominant player when he's healthy. So defensively, we feel pretty good about it. Last year we had to kind of do some different things because we were younger and smaller. Man, we're going to be really big and really strong. Our defensive line may be the biggest, best-looking defensive line I've had in 20 years as a head coach.
Well, defense wins games. Offense just decides by how much. This schedule you have with the teams you're playing, those defensive backs being returners and done seen everybody play, ought to be a big help for this year.
No doubt. If you have a very good secondary and you have a very good defensive line, which we think we do, of course, we've also got our leading tackler coming back at Mike linebacker with Knox Hillman, who will be a junior. You feel like you got some very good pieces there. A couple of names that are going to get thrown out that people have probably just overlooked. Some will be juniors. Bradley Benton, he'll probably start at will linebacker for us by the time it's all said and done. He's one of those kids that's just blown up. He's about 6'3", 190 now, and a very physical kid. And then a kid named Kipton Carey, who actually won the starting job at Sam linebacker last year, week 7, and never gave it up. Antoine Berry will be a senior, big, good-looking kid that moved. He was actually a Stuttgart Riceburg, and he left us as an 8th grader and went to Hot Springs. Well, now he's moved back as a senior, so you'll probably hear his name quite a bit as well. So those are just some of the kids that we're looking forward to seeing what they can do and getting some new faces out there.
Y'all were 12-0 heading into a playoff appearance against Elkins where y'all took a rough loss in the playoffs. Do you think sometimes it's beneficial for a team to take a loss in the regular season, kind of just to get a mental reset and kind of have more of a chip back on your shoulders?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that you can see that, but the way we were last year, coming off that 5-5 year, I mean, those guys they were dedicated to try to win every single game and try to win a state championship. In that Elkins team, I told our coaches and going into the game, hey guys, they've got the 5 best defensive players we've seen all year, and they're on the same team. So that was a problem, and they ended up winning the state championship, and Coach Watson and those guys do a great job, and hats off to them. But I don't think losing the game during the regular season with this bunch will do us any good. The big thing that I'm going to preach to these guys about, last year we had home field advantage throughout. This year we'll probably have to travel at some point during the playoffs, and Stuttgart Riceburgs have not won a road playoff game since 2009. And that's not a Josh Price issue. That's a Stuttgart Riceburg issue. We've got to get that fixed. So, hopefully that's somewhere we can go on the road and get us a win. And that gets back into your seeding stuff. That's why you want to win your conference and be the number 1 seed. So you may only have to travel once instead of twice or however that breaks out.
Yeah. I was talking to Kane before we came on for this interview, and he's saying y'all had a 7-on-7 yesterday. Y'all were playing some really big schools like Bryant and Searcy. We just talked to Searcy. Does that help you out, do you think, come time for the season that you're playing these bigger 6A schools that are potentially more physical or just, potentially better built?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like yesterday, we played Sylvan Hills, and they had some athletes that we don't see with their closing speed on the football and things along those lines. And it's a big learning curve for our we had 2 sophomore wide receivers out there that have never seen that. And that's good for them to see. And, you want to go and compete and win every single game or whatever. But the biggest thing of those 7-on-7s that we get out of it is Number one, learning routes on offense because we've got inexperienced receivers that need to learn the routes. And then number two, on defense, you just want to be able to go from your zone coverage stuff to cover zero like that, the next play, because those are some of the things you want to do on Friday nights when the season rolls around.
I'm sure Warren probably has some athletes similar to what you saw yesterday. So I mean that helps down the schedule.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
seeing that speed,
seeing that speed and those passing concepts and all of those things. We got to do a much better job when we play them this year of taking away their big plays.
It's hard to duplicate that speed in practice if you don't have 15 kids with that kind of speed.
Well, it is very hard to do. It's kind of like playing it's on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like when you go play a wing tee or a dead tee team. It's going to take you a series or two during the game to get acclimated because no matter how good your scout team is, they can't simulate that offense for you.
No, they can't.
And then on August 28th, you'll have your first game of the season. That'll be at Lone Oak. What are you hoping to see from your squad? Of course, there's going to be a lot of growing points and learning curves throughout the season, but what are you hoping to see week one?
Well, that was our worst game last year. I out-coached myself. We tried to do a hurry-up, no-huddle, snap it as fast as we could because we didn't have anybody going both ways, and they had about 7. Well, it blew up in our face because we ran the wrong route about 11 times, and we just didn't look very good on offense. So hopefully we go over there on that game. The biggest thing we're going to look for, as I mentioned, our defensive line. Lone Oak's got a very big physical offensive line. I'm hoping we can go over there and stop the run just out of our base defense, not having to blitz and stunt and get in that cover zero and stuff and kind of see how that goes.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Coach Price. I'm always rooting for Stuttgart as my dad was a former Rice Bird coach, so we'll always be rooting for the Rice Bird in our household. So we'll be back here in just a second with some of the Rice Bird players. Thank you so much, Coach Price, for coming on.
You bet, guys. Thank y'all for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we are back here on the Arkansas Sports Network with two offensive players for the Stuttgart Rice Birds. Y'all care to introduce yourselves?
Kane Price, quarterback.
I'm Keaton Byers.
So we talked with head coach Josh Price about this offense, looking at these high-scoring ball games, 48, 49, 49, 58, 56, 52, 59. It goes on. This offense is explosive. Y'all score a lot of touchdowns, a lot of big plays that come from this offense. What goes into practice just making sure y'all are ready for game time to have these explosive plays?
I would just say reps. Monday we have a play call. It's called Big Mo's. Like those are plays we think we should score on. So we rep that throughout the week, and you hope to have it really done by Wednesday afternoon, because Thursday's just a walkthrough. But we perfect those, and most times they're right on whenever we step on the field.
And, being a skill position player, just playing behind Kane, just being ready for game day, being ready in practice, it's going to be coming in hot. What do you do just to stay ready in the field?
Like you said, get reps. Practice like you're fixing to go play a game. You want it to be the same, so not really changing much.
Y'all coming off that 12-1 record, we talked about that chip being on the shoulder. So many teams are going to be excited to play the Rice Birds. I'm sure that's exciting for y'all. And then week 1 at Lone Oak, then y'all moving to Malvern, then Whitehall. First 3 weeks, that's going to be big to establish who y'all are as a team. What are y'all going to do to make sure y'all go 3-0?
Just go play our ball. Like I said yesterday, we have a target on our back. Everybody's gonna give us our best shot, and we just gotta make sure we punch back. Because at the end of the day, we're all working for the same goal. All teams in 4A want to win a state championship, so we just gotta make sure that we're outworking them and executing better than they are.
And with the offense being so explosive, of course, you want the defense to keep up their end of the stick. But what if the offense isn't holding up? What game? They'll play a stout defense, then your defense has to step up as well. What's kind of the motivation that you give the offense if it's really not clicking for one game?
I would just say just stay true to ourselves, because at the end of the day, the other team on the other side of the ball, they're trying to stop us just as much as we're trying to score on them. So yeah, defense, they may win every once in a while, but last year I think we had like a 4-week stint where we didn't punt the ball at all. So that's pretty efficient. So just stay true to ourselves, don't try to do too much, and just move the sticks.
And Keaton, looking across this schedule, is there any game that sticks out to you that you think you're just super excited for?
I'm just excited to be back. I just got cleared the other day. I had a torn labrum, had surgery March 10th. So I'm just excited for the season. It's senior season. I'm excited for all of them.
And y'all speak of this senior season. This is potentially a make or break. Coach Josh Price has talked about having those seniors on the roster. This could be a potential final season for really, I mean, producing a playoff season, especially with you graduating, taking away a really good quarterback. So, I mean, it's make or break this year for you, especially before moving off to play college ball. What's just the mindset? I'm sure it's nerve-wracking because I'm sure come playoff time you're thinking this could be my last game.
For sure. That's what we had to talk. Like we think as a whole team, this is everybody's best chance to get a ring. So I mean, it's up to us. It's not up to the coaches. They're gonna put us in the right positions. So it's up to us whether we do it. And I think we're ready to do it.
And I remember talking to you after that Elkins loss last year in the playoffs. It was a rough one, but y'all are ready to bounce back. What has been the motivation this whole offseason to make sure something like that can't happen again?
Yeah, I mean they drove what 4 hours down our home turf semifinals. Like we're thinking we're fixing to go to state for the first time since 2012, and I mean they completely dominated the whole game. So anytime we're like having a lactical like practice, lazy practice, we just remember like y'all remember they drove down here 3 hours and whooped us, and then hopefully we draw them and we can do it to them.
And Keaton, I know Kane hears it at home, but I've heard from my dad that you can hear Coach Price yelling all the way from the gym. So
Oh yeah.
is he still like that at practice? And if he is, does that help y'all, you think, come game time that he is so just on you during practice just to make sure that you're ready for game time?
Oh yeah. I mean, he expects us to give 100%, 110%, like every play, every possession, no matter what. I mean, it's kind of good that he expects us to do good, do our best.
And then for people that don't know, Kane here, he is a Texas State commit heading into the Pac-12. Next year, he's going to be leaving in December to go play football. Last season, what's your expectation? I'm sure it's a ring, but just not to get too focused for the future, but just to stay locked into this season.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I wanted to get that recruiting out of the way before the season. So, it wasn't a distraction in the locker room or anything like that. Because, at the end of the day, it's the team effort. I can't go win a state championship by myself. I need my O line. I need my defense. I need my receivers. So I'm glad that's out the way. So now we're all set on one goal. But yeah, definitely, I want some jewelry.
All right, well, we appreciate y'all coming on. We're going to get the defensive players to move in here on the mics, and we really appreciate y'all coming on.
Like
All right, and before we get started here with our Stuttgart defensive rice birds, we'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Warp Stream and Toad Thumper. Without you, these type of broadcasts would not be possible, so we always like to give our thanks for that. And we're here with some defensive rice birds. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Bo Barnes.
Dajan Smith.
And y'all, like I said, with the offense, y'all are looking for a very successful season. Coach Price has had 8 playoff appearances in 10 years. That's a pretty good ratio. So moving into this season, what's the defensive mindset just to make sure that y'all can set up y'all's offense for success?
I think it's just you got to give 110% at all times. Just make the plays that we're supposed to, and we have a very explosive offense to fall back on. So we really trust our guys on the other side of the ball. So we know we can play true to ourselves and just go make plays and allow them to do what they can.
And I know in 4A football, especially, y'all do play against some very highly touted offenses, especially teams like Warren. They've produced many NFL players. So going against these high-level offenses, what do y'all have to do to make sure that your defense can hold up?
Just make sure that you keep a mindset that even if they're a better team, you just have to put in the most effort because at the end of the day, the person that wants it the most is most likely going to come out with the victory. So even if they're more talented than you, you just have to step up, make a play every single down, and keep your head up.
And then you talk about keeping your head up. Like whenever you do go against these huge teams that have offensive powerhouses, what's kind of the motivation when you get to halftime? I mean, you see that their offense is clicking. What's kind of the adjustment that you'll have to make?
I think it's just sticking to ourselves. Mainly just keeping to our schemes and just producing as much as we can. Like I said, we have, offense that averaged over 40 points this last year, and I expect the same. So that gives us some cushion to work with, but mainly just stick to ourselves and our game plan, and just it's gonna work. You trust the coaching staff and keep moving.
And with that offense being so powerful, average over that 40 points per game, that means y'all are probably on the field a lot since they're scoring so fast. Do you almost view that as a disadvantage to y'all since y'all have to be on the field so constantly because the offense is just constantly putting up those points?
Well, sometimes, but you also have to think that if they're producing, you also have to produce on your side. You have to make sure that you're also helping the team out. You can't just always rely on the offense because maybe one game they're down and you'll have to step up and make a play.
And then I know defense really a lot in high school football. I feel like gets overlooked. Offense is always the focus point, but defense is still 50% of the game. And if the defense doesn't play good, of course, the team can really start to slip. Coming later into the season, it gets tougher. You're getting tired. It's getting colder. It's getting harder to just stay motivated on defense. But come playoff time, what are y'all going to do to make sure that y'all put out y'all's best performance?
I think it's just the standard. I mean, we owe it to the town to bring state championship, and that's of course that's the goal. So I think we're not gonna stop until we get there, whether it's 30 degrees or it's sweltering hot. Like it's the standard, and that's what we have to live up to.
Mhm. And speaking of the town, Stuttgart is a great place. I'm from the area, been there a lot. My dad's been there a lot. So having this town back you, I'm sure is great because y'all have built this amazing football program behind head coach Josh Price in these 10 years. It's it's coming down to the end with some of these seniors. So last year to make something happen, if you're a senior, what's just the motivation going into this final season?
Well, we want to leave a tradition. I mean, back then, I mean, me, Bo, we were just little kids in the stands, looking up and just wanting to be out on the field. So, what we want to do for senior year is just make sure that we keep a big bar and just stay high and make sure that we leave something important for the town.
And then looking across this schedule, week 1 at Lone Oak. Y'all played them week 1 at home last year with a final of 24-20. I'm sure y'all are expecting that same result this year.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They're a very talented squad, bringing back a lot of all states, and we have some history with them. So we know the team we're going to face. They're going to be really good. They're going to put up a tough fight, but I think like I said, we trust our teammates and our coaching staff to put us in the best place to make the plays and come out with a victory.
And is there any games on this schedule that y'all see that kind of just stick out that y'all are just anxious to play?
Well, we kind of look at that in every single game. We want to not take any type of we want to make sure that we win this game. Every game is a step up to the next game, and we just want to make sure that even though if we're facing, we'll say top 2 ranked, top 1 ranked, every game is important.
And then speaking of number 1 ranked, y'all are the number 1 ranked preseason team in 4A football. That's a big title to hold, and that's like I said, y'all are 50% of that team. So holding up your side of the ball is going to be very important. Does that give you any type of extra motivation, or does that kind of set you back knowing that you're number 1?
No, I definitely think it almost puts a chip on our shoulder. Like a lot of people would say that we were the weaker part of the team last year, but we're bringing back a lot of experience. Like you said, we're returning 11 or 9 out of 11 starters, so we got a lot of young talent, a lot of experience, and I think we're just ready to prove ourselves this year.
Well, thank y'all so much for coming on. Like I said, rooting for Stuttgart from the area. And, I think this defense is going to hold up just like they did last year. What are y'all going to do just to make sure that they do come playoff time? Because it's going to be y'all's last game, potentially. I mean, what's just the motivation to hold on?
That we have a chip on our shoulder. I mean, the town is wanting us to win, and we have a lot of parents back home that are going to drive up to almost every single game and watch us our senior year. So we want to make sure that, we give them what they want and we put every single play, every single down, make sure we give it almost 110%.
All right, well, we appreciate y'all for driving out here to Jacksonville High School on the Arkansas Sports Network for Football Fridays. I'm Caden Hauser, and we're going to be back here in just a bit with the Carlisle Bison.
All right, we're back here on the Arkansas Sports Network. We are now visiting with Mr. B.J. Harrison, the head coach of the Carlisle Bison. Uh, Coach Harrison, first year taking over here, taking over a really good squad. It was 10-2 last year. Talk to me about what it's been like taking over the transition as head coach.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for having us. And last year, Coach Wilson hired me, brought me in as an offensive coordinator, and we haven't really changed a whole lot. I mean, the standards were kind of set there. We've made a couple small changes here and there, but it's been really great. The kids are working hard, doing the things that we expect. This year, our big focus for the off season has been to do things the right way,
Yes,
and focusing on the small things. Because last year, the thing that we felt like that hurt us the most was kind of self-inflicted penalties. Doing missing assignments here and there, kind of put us behind the sticks, and we just weren't quite good enough offensively to kind of overcome those. I felt like our defense did a really good job. With Coach Wilson leaving, so I had to hire a defensive coordinator. Went out and hired a guy from Sylvan Hills. Last year they had a great season, and I hired a guy named Doug Shaded. He's going to come in and he's going to do our strength and conditioning this year, and he's done a great job with that. Hasn't been a lot of changes there, but he's come in and put in some of his own little twist to mix with it. So he's done a really good job this offseason. The kids love him. He's really vocal. He's a loud guy, this offseason has been really good and everything that, I could think of or ask for. So
Carlisle's one of them programs you don't generally have to make too many changes to keep things right. I mean, it's generally right all the time. D3 is proud to be a part of Carlisle, sponsor the Bisons a little bit, do what we do for y'all. So just like to get that going with y'all again.
Yeah. Just like you said, not a whole lot to change because the tradition is so good there. 10-2 last year, taking over the helm as the OC last year. Those offense did a lot of. I mean, you put up some big numbers here. You scored in the 40s multiple times. Scored 58 against England. Had some big games, but y'all lost a lot from the year before. What was the receiver that was real fast? Was it Davis last name? Was the year before?
Kawan Purnell.
Purnell. No, yeah, it's him. There was another guy that was even quicker.
Oh, you're talking about. So this was the year before I came in.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
so
was 2 years ago,
I
maybe.
think the guys will
Yeah.
know. I believe it was
Davis.
K Davis, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, K
He
Davis.
was
Yeah, he was super fast. And then we had a little Klingman, Caden Klingman, also.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
those two, right? Yeah, they were a threat.
So you had to replace a lot of guys, but still put up a lot of points. Had a good year. The one loss regular season in conference that was the one that kind of stood out. That wasn't a typical loss, which we know Hampton got really good last year, and was that Hampton game. Tell me a little bit about that one. Walk us through what happened that night at Hampton. You lost 36-28 to a really good team.
Yes, sir. So we actually started the game out hot. First drive, I think we scored within the first 4 or 5 plays. And then after that, after both teams kind of settled in, and it was kind of going back to what I told you earlier. We self-inflicted wounds. Like we kept making penalties. We had, I think, 3 personal fouls that game, and that's if you can't win and be a good football team doing those types of things.
Yes, sir.
And that's been the big emphasis of this offseason is trying to fix that kind of stuff. And we feel like we have the talent this year, to make a run at it. And if we clean up those things, I keep telling our guys, the sky's the limit for you guys.
Yes,
but you got to do things the right way. And if you're not, it's just going to keep hurting us. So
yes, sir.
Looks like you start with like 4 games in a row on the road. Is that right? Is that schedule correct?
I think they got Lakeside and Clarendon.
Lakeside and Clarendon come to us this year, and then we go to Des Arc, and I guess on the new field this year.
Yeah, if it's done by then.
Yeah, one thing different in this year's schedule is moving Hazen way up in the middle of the season instead of always that last game of the year. Tell me about that rivalry.
Well, I'm actually from Hazen, so a lot of
Right.
people don't know that about me, but I'm from Hazen. I coach there.
So you better do good, right?
That's right. That's the game everyone's got circled. They're like, you better beat them if you're going to beat anybody. But yeah, Hazen, the rivalry there. For me, that game, that's the first one I start going to sky. I don't know where that one's at right now, but yes, sir, that's going to be a fun game to coach. I have guys that are still on staff over there that I know. There's still kids over there that I coach. But they'll be a fun one for sure.
regardless, it's 9 miles
That's right.
separating them. So
That's
you know,
right.
that's that triangle there, Desert, Carlisle, and Hazen.
That's it.
You know, everybody knows their buddy. So that's you might have a 2-10 season, but that's the 2 games you want to win.
That's
It's
it.
those other 2.
Yes, sir. Talk to me a little bit about the guys you got coming back this year. Tell me how many starters do you kind of have on offense, defense, if you could put a number to it.
Okay, so offensively this year, I have I have 10 guys that are going to have, playing experience as far as returning starters. 8 realistically have started for me the entire year.
Nice.
Offensively. Offensive line, we lost one senior, Luke Cavness, and then we're returning everything else up front. And then I'm also moving up a 9th grader. Draven McMillan's his name. He would be playing for us a right tackle. He's massive. Last year in junior high, we probably ran the ball. I'd say probably 80% of our running was behind him. And then, which our offense with our junior high looked completely different than our senior high. The senior high, we were spreading it out. In junior high, we were foot to foot. So it was an old school Carlisle, as people say.
Right.
And then moving from there, up front, we have Dawson Harris, who's a returning guard for us. At center, we're playing with a couple bodies there. From Weston Jinks, who also played a lot of quality minutes for us last year. And then we have another freshman who's coming up to be a sophomore. His name's Trip Cotner. We've been working him there. And then we have Austin Wise, who's been playing the offensive line. So just kind of seeing what works out on that right side. The left side, we're returning 2 starters. We have Jimmy Cham and we have Nikolai McLean. Both of those guys, those are 2, protecting that left side, the blind side of our right-handed quarterback. So those guys do a really good job. As far as skill guys go, we're returning our starting quarterback, Baylor Hout, who did a really good job. Last year was his first year ever playing quarterback, and he adjusted really well. Kid works hard. He does everything I ask. He's, leader in the locker room. Stays after practice, pulls teammates to stay after practice to throw do the things that you got to do to be good. And so we're returning him in the backfield. We're going to have multiple backs. I'm returning Zayden Hill, who ran the ball for us last year some. Returning Remington Gisclair as well. Both of those 2 kind of split the running back reps back there last year with one more guy who graduated, Jaden Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Jaden leaving, I want to go to our next skill guy, kind of our receivers. So we think we have 2 very dynamic guys. We have Josh Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
He's 4'4" guy. He's fast.
Is he Jacob's brother? Jacob Elliott?
Jacob Elliott. Yes, Jacob Elliott.
He was a running back
and
couple years
Jaden Elliott.
back, right?
Yes, sir. So both of that's his 2 brothers. So he's going to start for us on the outside. Last year he didn't quite play for us as much on because he when I got to Carlisle, he couldn't really catch, and we've been working on it. And he's been staying every day with Baylor trying to get better at that, and and then the other receiver we have returning is Mason Bull.
Okay.
Bull's a familiar name, and in Carlisle's name been popping up. So Mason has actually have grown and hit a growth spurt and has gotten even bigger in the weight room this summer, this off season. He's sitting about 6'4", about 6'4", 6'5", and he's about 210, 220 pounds. So and he's gotten faster. He just runs track and does that. So he's gotten faster this off season. Other skill guy we have is Michael Spangola. Just nature. I mean, he's just born to play football. That's what he's just born to play it. He's good at everything he does. Yeah, you put him on the field, anywhere you put him on the field, he's gonna figure it out. I mean, he's very smart. You tell him something one time, he's got it.
Yes, sir.
That's the ones you like.
Oh yes, and he's a fast guy. He's running about 4.6, 4.7 somewhere in there. But I think with him he's just going to be a junior. His ceiling, I think, before he graduates, he could probably be a 4.5 guy.
Nice.
So the freshman you got moving up, I think I'd say he's pretty big, right?
Yes, sir. He's
Draven McMillan.
Yes, sir. Draven McMillan. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's about 240 pounds, and he moves like a skill kid. He's probably one of the best that I've seen at his age. Especially at the 2A level.
Right.
I mean, kid can move, and he gets his hands on you. he's got you.
Not often you got a ninth grader that you feel that confident in moving up, especially on the lines. You know, that's a
right.
tall task to do moving into high school as a ninth grader. So I mean, obviously, if you're doing that, I mean that's some lofty praise.
Yes, sir.
Probably wouldn't do him any good to stay in junior high though.
No, so that's what that was the conversation we had with him was if you play in junior high this year, you're going to basically win every competition, every battle you go against. So you're not really going to improve. If you want to get better, you have to go against people that are better than you.
Right.
And so this summer we went to we did like a team camp, if you will, or 7-on-7 type thing with a lineman challenge. We went over to DeWitt, and we've been going like against Dumas and DeWitt, and some bigger schools, and they said that he's held his own. So
nice.
We're excited about him.
Yeah,
sky's the limit.
Oh yes,
that's
yes,
one
sir.
of the ones you want to keep in Carlisle, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got 4 returning starters plus him. I mean, it sounds really exciting. I'm I think everybody is, but I mean, I'm a guy that believes strongly in inside out. Having the strong lines is really the backbone of what you do. So, sounds like you got a lot of things to be excited about. Talk to me about the defensive side now a little bit. I know a lot of these guys are probably going two-way for sure.
Yes, sir. So defensive side, we have a lot of guys that played reps there. We're having to move some things around in the box, so we're kind of shifting our defense. We can play. We're multiple front. We'll probably more start out in a 4 front this year. The last few years at Carlisle, I think probably the last 6, 7, 8 years we've been playing a 3 front. But this year we're going to a 4 front because it helps us. We feel like we have more depth on the line. So. Defensive ends, we've been working Zayden Hill. He's a physical guy. He's fast and getting off the edge. I've been working a couple other guys at defensive end. Jimmy Cham, one of the linemen.
Oh, yeah.
He's got speed.
I remember him from last year.
Yes, sir.
We were there for the Desert game, and
yes, sir.
His name popped up.
I do want to mention this about Jimmy. Jimmy is our kicker as well, and he does a really good job with that. And anytime somebody talks about Carlisle and they talk about the kicking, at the 2A level, Jimmy's he's the guy.
Weapon.
Yes, sir. He's been a weapon for the last 3 years, and this year he's going to be a weapon as well. So
nice. Any more defensive guys that maybe don't go or we haven't talked about on offense?
As far as any other new guy, we did have a guy that came in last year, didn't play football. That we were kind of excited to see what he's capable of this year. Would be TJ Jones. TJ he could play anywhere on the defensive line to a linebacker. I mean, he's a solid body. He's sitting about 5'9", 5'10". He's about 220 pounds. He's a little bowling ball type build guy, and he's just excited to play football. This is his first year, I think, in 2 or 3 years to play football.
How many numbers have you had this summer workouts?
Yes, sir. So this year we've been sending about 25, 26 kids, give or take, So we've had some that are injured. When we get those back, we'll have right at 26. As far as working out, we have 24, but we need to get those other 2 healthy because
that's pretty good numbers for 2A.
Yes, sir.
So 10-2 last year. Your only losses were Hampton and of course Mount Ida in the quarterfinals. Talk to me about what you've talked to the team about this year and that y'all got to improve upon to have a more successful year.
Yes, sir. Just going back to what I said earlier, just the small things and doing things the right way. This year, when we play football, we want to play it clean, but we also want to be physical. We don't want any kind of penalties that are going to put us behind the sticks. If we feel like we do that, then we could be playing in December. That's how us coaches feel. That's how the kids feel, and they've done a really good job this year. Trying to hold each other accountable this summer.
Yes, sir.
So that's the things that we've been keen on and focusing on this off season.
So I know last year you were the offensive coordinator. Now you're the head coach and calling the plays. So it's a different feel a little bit just from that aspect alone. But tell me how you feel going into last year about that team and how you feel this year. What are the kind of the differences on just your feeling right now at this time of the year?
Yes, sir. As far as the physicality in Carl, none of that's really changed. The kids are doing what they're supposed to do. The thing that I think that's kind of changed a little bit more that I've seen in the locker room wise is that we've had some senior leaders step up and they're starting to hold each other accountable. Me as a coach, it makes me feel really good.
Yes,
that's what we want as a coach. So
you have to have that.
That's right.
If you got that, you're a leg up on a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about the shed a little bit. How many times you
Shit,
eat there a week?
once a week at
Once a
least,
week,
at
yeah.
minimum. Yes, sir.
You,
That's usually our Friday ritual with my
oh yeah,
family. Yes, sir.
We're probably eating there a couple, 2 or 3 times a month ourselves.
right on.
It's right there in the backyard, just
We had
about.
a red plate there last year. I think were you there?
No,
No,
I
you
didn't
didn't come
make
down
that
for
one.
that one. But yeah, we had a red plate at the shed. Great owners and just a great staff. Well, I think there was a couple sisters that worked there. We talked to the whole time and a couple other people. But just appreciate them sponsoring today with the Carlisle Bison. Huge sponsor, huge support. But Coach, man, it sounds like y'all got a lot of things to be excited about in Carlisle. Um, I'll tell you what pops out to me is sounds like you're going to be more physical a little bit. You got the four returning starters plus a guy moving up that really has lofty expectations. That sounds like he's going to be a really good Bison
Yes,
moving
sir.
up through the years. It sounds like you've got a lot of things to really be looking forward to this year. You got a lot of speed. Josh Elliott, big guy like Mason Bull, of course. I remember, I guess it was number 44, but he wore a different number.
So that was
That
his
was his
brother.
brother,
That
right?
was his
And he was
brother.
a linebacker. He was a
Yes, sir.
stud,
Yes, sir.
fullback linebacker. He wasn't 6'4", but like Mason, but wasn't a receiver. But the Bull, like you said, that was a huge name in Carlisle, and just sounds like you've got a lot of really good things coming. Baylor, your quarterback, Hawk, how you pronounce it? It's Hawk.
Hauck.
Hauck. That's
Hauck.
right. He was really good last year. He was fun to watch, and I think obviously another year under his belt. It's going to be a lot of good things here for the Bison.
Unfortunately.
Mr.
No,
Desark here.
actually, I live in
Live in
Carlisle,
Carlisle.
so I support. If they're not playing Desark, I'm supporting Carlisle. So that's
Did you
how
hear
it
that,
is.
Hazen? Did y'all
Yeah,
hear that?
Hazen's just down there in the south part of
Yeah.
the county. We don't talk about that.
No.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
coming up
Thank
here.
you.
That's BJ Harrison,
Yes, sir.
head
Nice
Thank
coach
to
you.
of the
meet you. Yes,
Carlisle
sir.
Bison. He's excited about his team, his squad, taking over the helm as head coach. It's going to be a good year for the Bison, I feel. Thanks for coming up here. We're going to get some players in here for us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name, number 5? Okay. Zayden Hill?
Yes, sir.
And you're the running back. You play a little defensive end as well?
Yes, sir.
And you're a junior?
Senior.
Oh, senior. I'm sorry. And who else I got here?
Jimmy.
What number are you, Jimmy? Can't see it.
0.
Number 0? Jimmy Cham?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's the longest field goal you kicked in a game, Jimmy?
45.
45 in a game? That's impressive. You're a senior as well?
Yes, sir.
Coach said you're going to be playing a little bit of, was it defensive end?
Defensive end and
Yeah.
tackle.
A little bit of tackle as
Yes,
well.
sir.
You like putting your hand in the dirt, playing some defense?
hmm
Did you play any last year at all?
I
Or
got
just,
some reps, but I mostly
yeah.
played center.
Oh, okay. On offense. Nice.
Yes, sir.
What's it been like, guys, with Coach Harrison taking over the head coaching job? How's it feel?
I like it a lot more. I loved Coach Wilson, but I think Coach BJ knows what he's doing.
Yes, sir. How about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I feel the same way. He's feel like it's got more strict, which has helped us develop more.
Nice. Yeah, y'all lost to Hampton, lost to Mount Ida last year. Both of those, I know Mount Ida always as physical as they get running that veer. Hampton just made huge strides last year. After y'all lost to them, Bearden was having a great year as well, and everybody kind of penciled that in. Whoa, Bearden might knock you off. Y'all got a huge win at home, 23-22 over the Bears, and just tell me a little bit about how last season ended for y'all and how that left a sour taste in your mouth and what y'all want to do this year to, right the ship on how it finishes.
Uh, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. Whenever we lost, it was a
Mhm.
big loss. We lost a lot, but I think what we got coming this year, they'll do it. Yeah, I feel like we got a lot stronger, a lot faster, and we're more experienced now. Everybody wants to be there now.
Yeah. So on offense, you're replacing Jaden Elliott, a lot of production gone. Coach said you're gonna have a couple guys kind of combating that with Zayden here, and was it Remington? What's his last name?
Just clear.
Just Clear. Talk to me about those guys and what y'all think. Well, you talk about him and Remington, what you kind of see that they brought to the table, and how you think they can do a good job replacing Jaden.
I think Remy, and we'll also have Michael Spingola back there. I think
Yes.
with those two guys back there, I think we'll do incredible.
Yeah, you got a lot of confidence in him.
Michael's a very strong physical guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know he'll do good. Remy's just a balls to the wall, going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he'll do it.
Yes, sir. Tell me about what you on defense. What do you prefer, defense or offense, Zayden?
It really just depends on who we're playing. If we're playing a big guy, I want to be on defense.
Right.
I want that big guy.
So what do you bring to the table at running back?
Ah, physical,
Yeah.
big, run through somebody.
What's your fastest 40 you ever ran?
I don't even 4.7.
4.7. What are you weighing right now?
Like 205.
That's pretty good. 205, 4.7. That's a load, especially in 2A level. So I know you did. I had y'all backwards there in my head, so I apologize. But y'all didn't talk about yourself down there in the running back room, but definitely, what's this guy mean to you back there in the backfield?
I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to protect him.
Yeah.
Get a lot of yards.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
You pretty excited about Michael and Zayden here in Remington?
Everything. Yes, sir. I
Yes,
feel
sir.
like they're gonna do their job. It's gonna be as good as Jaden was.
What's it like playing with Baylor at quarterback?
I think he's learned a lot. Last year we struggled a lot for his first year being here, but I think this year 7-on-7s we did good. He's been throwing the ball a lot better. I think he'll do perfectly fine this year.
Yeah, I feel like now that he's more experienced, he knows how the game's gonna work, how it's gonna run. He's gonna do a lot better.
Yes, sir. Pre-game meal. What is it? What's your favorite pregame? Anything in particular?
I don't even know. Probably just the pork. Yeah, chicken sandwich from the
Yeah.
church.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what
Nice. Got who's the funniest guy on the team?
I gotta say it's TJ.
Yeah,
It's got to
TJ.
be TJ.
Okay. TJ Jones.
Hmm.
Um, is there a guy that gets y'all fired up more than anybody else? Just kind of like gives you that pregame speech after the coaches are done talking or before?
I feel like everybody's
just-
just
They're on the
getting
same.
everybody going.
Hmm.
Is Hazen like game that you circle in your mind every year? Got to
No,
win.
Nope.
I wouldn't say anymore now.
Uh-uh.
Not with the competition. I'd say our big game is probably Des Arc this year,
Hmm.
Baptist Prep.
I got
Yep.
you. Yeah, Babs Prep improving, and we're on rough times for a little bit. We got a lot better last year. That'll be a big one. Well, guys, appreciate you coming in. We got one more coming, it looks like, and
Yes,
we'll get
sir.
them in
Be our
here. But
quarterback.
that's Zayden Hill right here, and Jimmy Cham. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Sir, thank you.
All right. Are you Baylor? All right. Pronounce that last name one more time for me.
Hauk.
Hauk.
Hauk. Hauk.
Oh, okay. There you go. Hauk. That's right. All right. You a senior?
Yes, sir.
Started last year at quarterback and got a lot better as the season went on. Talk to me about how much more comfortable you feel going into your senior year here.
Man, I'll tell you, it just feels like I have a more understanding of the game, and that I just feel like no matter what, the game flows by more smoother and all that. But besides that, nothing else.
Yes,
Just
sir.
more comfortable.
I was talking to Jimmy and Zayden a lot about y'all's backfield replacing a guy like Jaden Elliott that meant so much to Carlisle over the last 3 years. And talk to me a little bit about what Zayden brings to the table and Michael and Remington.
Remington, it's like that dude just doesn't have an off switch. He just goes, goes, goes. Zayden's just a big body. You give him the ball, he can get 2 to 3 yards if you need it all the time. And then Michael, man, he knows the game. He's real smart when it comes to what to do and if he needs to change something on the fly because he's seeing something else when he's up there, but he can do that real good. But besides that, I think, yes, losing Jaden was a big thing, but like I feel like we have a good back behind him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all, you got 4 returning starting offensive linemen, plus you're moving up a really good young potential player in Draven McMillan. Talk to me about how the offensive line has looked through the offseason and what you're excited about with those guys.
Well, man, I went over when we were at DeWitt one day. I was hurt because I had just had appendix surgery, so I went and watched the line, and they competed really good. I feel like we're way more physical up front than last year. And mentioning Draven, I mean, dude's probably 6'4", 6'5",
Wow.
ninth grader. He's gonna be a freak when it comes to understanding the game. Yeah, he needs to learn it a little more, but when it comes to it, it just comes with reps.
Right.
Yeah, but then you got like Jimmy and all them, they can all teach them. Like just having the upperclassmen beside Draven is a real good thing.
Yes, sir. Are you like a vocal leader, or are you more of a lead by example kind of guy?
I'd say I'm more of a lead by example, but when I need to be vocal, I'm vocal.
Yes, sir. Tell me what it's been like with the transition from Coach Harrison going from your OC to your OC and your head coach.
Well, when he was my OC, I got really close with him. So like
Right.
having him because I was there every day with him. I mean, every Sunday I was with him, just learning everything. But now that he's the head coach, I mean, nothing really changed, just his role. But like he's still the same person he was to me last year, just grew tighter.
Yes, sir. Has the offense changed much this year? Y'all doing a little bit different stuff? You still out of the spread?
Still out of spread. No, we haven't really changed much at
Right.
all.
Yes, sir. The shed down the road there, and well, right there in town off the interstate. How often do you eat there? Is it fire, or what do you think?
I like it a lot. You get their turkey sandwiches. I'm telling you, you can't
Oh
go
yeah,
wrong with that.
right.
On that sourdough bread. But besides that, like I eat there probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow, nice. Yeah, we appreciate the shed sponsoring with this. Well, that was quarterback here, Baylor Hawk and Hauk.
Hauk, yes
Yeah,
sir.
my bad.
That's
Baylor
good.
Hauk.
I'm used to it
And
at this
I'm
point.
sure my name's Duran, so man, I feel you. But so yeah, man, thanks for coming and
Yes
interviewing
sir.
with us. Going to be a good year for Carlisle. Got a really strong line and a lot of returning guys. Got some big time weapons outside at a wide receiver and Josh Elliott, Mason Bull, and some other guys. It's going to be a fun year. We appreciate Carlisle coming and interviewing with us. That's all for now. We're going to have the next team coming up. Looks like Clarendon in the house. We'll be back right here on the Arkansas Sports Network after these messages.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Look, everybody's talking about D3 Auto Sales, and I say to myself, there must be something special about this dealership, and it's their prices. You can get one of these vehicles right up here for not a lot of money, right? That's D3 Auto Sales in Desart, d3autosales.com.
Back here on the Arkansas Sport Network on Football Fridays, and we're here with the Clarendon Lions and head coach Tracus Donaldson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank y'all for having us. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for showing up, Coach.
And this is your first year at Clarendon, and always as a first year head coach, you got to have so much motivation coming in, so much passion. I'm sure you have a lot of passion for football itself, and then these are all new guys that you've met just in this off season. So moving into a new area, new team, what's that experience been like?
It's been great. Easy transition. Like I said, the guys bought in. Like as soon as I came in, I talked to the kids in January, had a one-on-one, and I told them I'd come down twice a month and work on football, and they've all bought in. These kids are great. Like I said, when I got down here, I saw speed, and I love speed.
You got speed. Clarendon's always had some athletes. It's just, getting them to buy in, and good. We're hoping that you get that accomplished at Clarendon. Them young men standing right over there is going to be key parts of that.
Yes, sir. I brought those 4 key. These guys, I'll be honest with you, the first day I came in, these are the first 4 I saw. And they've stuck by me, kind of like my son. So they need a whooping, I got them. But those 4 stuck by me. That leadership they got, they're young, sophomores, junior, and senior. So they've been on those boys, and those boys been listening to them, and we do practice together and everything, and it's been going great.
Well, that's good.
And then I know the Clarendon basketball history is very rich there, especially with head Coach Hudson. He's a very close friend of my dad. He's a very great coach, and the culture is established there for the basketball program, and you're going to try to establish that here for the football program. It's easy to do that, especially as a first-year head coach, because you get to lay the foundation. So, what's kind of your culture that you're going to try to establish with this team?
The culture we're going to try to establish right here is discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. You got to be disciplined. Know your role. All right. And then the second thing we're trying to do is try to get that winning mentality back. The community's been great. I was told the community, like you said, does basketball, but we've seen it do football and basketball. If I got down there, we need something, they got it for us. Coach Hudson's been great too. He's been helping us out as well. Man, it's just great. So I want to come in, bring that winning mentality back for both schools, both sports, and let it go into the future like that. But our foundation is going to be discipline. I've noticed that in the past they didn't have it. They get it now, and those players are going to be a little bit better.
You just need to knock the grass off Clarendon's foundation. That foundation's there. I mean, back when Cedric and Tank and them guys was there, Clarendon was a threat every year. They were great. You just got to knock that grass off of and get it back down to the hard pan and move on.
Yes, sir.
It's like I say, you got athletes for days in Clarendon. You see it on the basketball court. You just got to get them over to the football field and learn that football. So.
And then you've had limited time with this team, being a first-year head coach. You've had this summer and potentially a little bit of the spring with this ball club. So, on offense, what players have you seen so far that kind of stick out that you can tell are going to be elite playmakers?
I hate to say this. I know all coaches say it, but our offense is going to be elite all around. We have starters. Like I told my guys, we have starters, but my number two's got to be just as good as my number ones. So when we practice, we don't practice football. We practice situations with different groups so they know what to do so they don't get lost in the shuffle. With my guys, I always tell them they need a blow. Give me a play. We'll get somebody in. Number two's got to be ready. And they've actually adapted to that. So we practice that way. You practice how you play. That's how you get better. And I think that's how those kids have grown quickly, getting those skills things in. I don't think they haven't seen that since the Cedric and Tank days. But now we're going to try to bring that back. And I think they really adapted to it real quickly.
Even back when Jamarlin, I think you have Jamarlin's little brother on your team now, Jackson, that is. They were, then it was get Jamarlin the ball and it was get out of his way and just let him do his thing. It sounds like now you have more of a team concept than what they was playing in. Now they was good. They won some games with him, but it wasn't everywhere. It was just him. So
yes, sir. Like I said, it's going to be times where we put them out there. You don't know who's getting the ball, but when they get it, they're going to go. And I think that's how you make a special team like that. And that's real special in two-way.
It's real special. I mean, if you got more than 3 or 4 kids that run. We'll just use real numbers of 4-6. If you got 3 4-6s out there, you fast.
And then, just speaking of this team, and like you said, you have all around talent. It's important for these kids to know playing at a 1A or a 2A school, lower classification schools, it's important for them to know they can still play at the next level. Coming from a 2A school myself, I know that's important just to have that mindset. And Clarendon has a great example of that a few years ago in Quincy McAdoo. So, what's kind of a foundation that you want to establish to these guys that you can make a career out of this? You can get a full ride scholarship. You can push yourself to the limits to earn a future career in this sport.
Well, I tell kids all the time, even back to my days when I was at Osceola, Jackson Central Mary, Liberty, MLK, and then just previously at all boys school, don't be specialized in one position. Do what you need to do to get on the field. You can be a kicker and get a full-time scholarship. You can be a punter and get a full-time scholarship. Deep snap, play all the sports. Don't specialize on one thing. Do it all. That's how you get that scholarship. And that's what we preach in their heads all the time. So I want them to play all the sports. I love it. So that's what we preach in their head like that. You can still get looked at.
Keeps them busy.
That too. That definitely
keeps them out of trouble.
Keeps them out of trouble and keeps them in shape too.
That too.
And then you speaking about being at Osceola and some of those other schools, could you tell us about your previous coaching history?
Yes, sir. I started at Osceola 2011 and I left 2020, the summer 2020 during the COVID. Moved to Tennessee. I was with Coach Hooks, those back-to-back state championship games we went to. I wish we'd have won at least one of them. But it was a great experience at War Memorial. Then in 2020, I went to Liberty Tech in Tennessee, offensive coordinator there for a year, and then they reopened Jackson Central Mary in Jackson, Tennessee in the same spot. So we went there 2 years to start that back open. I was the offensive coordinator there for 2 years, and then I came back, went to MLK Prep. It was going to be the last year for them to go on, and I still took the job because I wanted to get back to Memphis. And it was a struggle. It was. We didn't win any games, but those kids bought in, and I got them ready for the next level to go to whatever school they wanted to go to. And then I went to prep school. It was an all boys school, and that was the real eye opener. Those kids, it wasn't school affiliated; it was just a prep school, and we got to travel and play in Mississippi, Kentucky, things like that. They got to go to college camps, and that really opened my eyes and things like that. And I met a lot of coaches there, really opened my eyes like that. So I kind of retired after that for 1 year. And what I did in Memphis was I was a dean of students at school, and I would go to different offenses during the school, help them set up offenses, and I was loving that until I got the call in November. Hey, we want you in Clarendon, and I had a previous stop there. It didn't come out right. They went another direction, which didn't upset me. I
Right.
understood. And then when I got back there and called me in November, they were like, "Hey, coach, it's yours if you want it." That's basically what I was told. I was like, "Well, give me a minute to think about it. Talk to family, prayed on it." And I was like, "I'm your guy. I'm coming." So
Well, they need that guy. You and I were talking about that just a minute ago. Clarendon needs that guy to get this train back on the tracks. And good luck, coach. I hope you succeed.
I appreciate that. I really do.
And the offensive success, hearing that resume, I think is bound to happen. So, what are you going to do to make sure the defensive side of the ball holds up as well? I'm sure defensive coordinators play into that, and of course you have your knowledge as well. But just making sure you can handle the offense for sure with that resume, but making sure the defense is going to do their part as well.
Gotcha. Well, if you're a football coach, if you know offense, you got to know defense,
Right.
and vice versa. So this first year, I'll be doing both. I do have a defensive coordinator, Coach Bones. He's with us right here. But we're going to do offense. I'm going to do offense and defense, the first year to get a feel of it, then give those duties out and run more of the big show. But defensively, we're going to be quick. I'll be honest with you. We're going to run that 4-2-5 that you can jump into anything that depends on what that team's running. And that's the easiest thing. And those guys, I'll be honest with you, picked it up so quick. It's just astonishing how we can get that 4-2-5 and they see the thing and they can make a call and we go with it. I mean, it's just great. But we just had a 7-on-7 and I let them call the wrong calls. And
Y'all didn't get scored on, right?
we didn't get scored on to like the next to last play of the whole thing. So that really it helped me out. I was like, that was awesome.
I mean, to go through I don't care who you was playing against. To go through 7-on-7 and not get scored on, that's pretty solid because, that's all that is offense most of the time. Sound like you played some defense. So that's pretty solid.
Yes, sir.
And you're coming in to coach a team. They went 0-10 last year, so you have really, as a new head coach, nothing to lose but everything to gain. I mean, you can really build up your resume even some more yourself, continue to build up this squad, and just prove that as a head coach, you can bring these guys to success. It sounds like you're already getting that in the 7-on-7 aspect of it. So heading into this new season, you hate to see the record from last year, but as a head coach, you got to have that confidence that you're going to change it. What's going into that this offseason to make sure that it's going to be a new script this year?
Pretty much, I told him you can't get any worse. I mean,
Exactly.
there's no down here. It's only up. And making those small improvements every year is what we're looking for. Like I said, I told the school, I'm not promising you a state championship. I'm not promising an undefeated season, but you're going to see a lot of improvement. You're going to see a better play, better attitudes, and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, I've already seen it now. Like I said, during that 7-on-7, I hate to go back to it, but I didn't tell these guys to do this, but if there was an incomplete pass or didn't catch a ball, they yelled out, "My bad, coach." They did 5 or 10 push-ups, got right back and play. I didn't tell them that. They just started doing it, so I let them do it. And other
Love to see
coaches were
that.
like, "Man, coach, this
Yeah.
isn't the Clarendon we saw
That's
last
no,
year.
that's
This is a
not
different
Clarendon.
Clarendon."
That's been a while.
And I told them that those are the kids. I mean, the kids bought in. They do stuff like that, and they get to go. And I'll be honest with you, I give a little freedom to my quarterback, James. He sees something. Hey, coach, I saw this. And I'm like, all right, you got it. Call the play. And I just walk off, and it was success.
I mean,
So
your
we go like that.
senior class is what they've won 2 games in 3 seasons. So I mean, if somebody comes in there patting them on the back, tell them, "Hey, you're doing great," then I think they're gonna buy into that. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I want the seniors to go out good this year.
Yeah.
Being my first year, I
Yeah.
want these seniors to have a great year. I really do.
You always hear, "Oh, we're gonna build, we're gonna build." Well, the seniors don't want to hear that. I'm gonna build stuff. I want to win right now too. They still want to win.
And speaking of building that roster, how many seniors do you have currently? And, looking towards the future, I know you said you have some sophomores and juniors that are very good. So the future does look bright. But for these seniors on their last year, what's kind of just your motivation for this year still to put together a very good season for their last year?
Like I said, I think I have 4 or 5 seniors if I'm correct. I have to go back and check that. But the seniors this year, they're the landmark. They're the groundation. I mean, they're sorry, they are the foundation. They're going to know in 3 or 4 years when we're actually winning. Hopefully, we got state titles. It started with them.
When they come back to
And
watch the
and
game,
they're going to know that. They're definitely going to know that. This senior class, I'm glad they stuck with us and stuck it out. And they're going to have a lot of input on things that we do. I'm going to let them, it's their team. It's their last year. It's their team. Hopefully, we can get over that 2 win. I'm going to get them some more wins. But yes, we are going to be young, and I like being young because they can learn and we can do what we need to do with that.
Coach, you was telling me over there how many players you got out right now. Could you talk about that right now? Your roster size.
I said we had 24s when I came down. I think last time I counted, we were at 30,
Yes, sir.
31. I really counted. Uh, we're going to be looking good, and like I said, just having 25-2 is great.
That's great. Yeah, you got 30. That's big.
That's big, and like I said, we have kids. And so the things that I do, like I said, I practice situations. Group 2, Group 3 has got to be better than Group 1. And we do situations, get those kids going. So if somebody goes down, the next person comes in, plug it in and go. And that's how I do. We practice situations, we do practice. So those kids getting those game reps in practice, going best on best every day. And I think that's just a big improvement. I don't know if they used that kind of mentality before in Clarendon, but just having that mentality, you see kids is great. And you see parents out there watching practice. I think that's great too. I've always opened it up. So those kids see those parents out there like, oh, I better get better. So,
Better get better. My
get
mama's
better.
over
Now,
there.
yeah, you don't want mama coming over
Uh-uh.
there like that. So, yes, I think that's real good.
And for me personally, being a coach's son, I've always understood that when you go to a new school, it is so important for these coaches to build relationships early, right? When you meet these guys, the parents, the people in the community, it is so important just to build that foundation with these guys so later on you can continue to grow. I'm sure this summer you haven't been trying to chew them out too hard. So, what's been the learning curve so far this summer? Just trying to get to know all these guys and make sure that you're ready for week one.
Big learning curve. I know some of these kids, they're old school coaches yelling and stuff. I already told them I don't yell. I have things I'll just look at you, or I might say one thing and walk off. They know what's up. So the yelling thing, I'm trying to get that out of their mentality because that brings kids down more than anything. Told my coaches, hey, talk to them one on one, and then put them right back out there. That's how we're gonna do the game. If they mess up during the game, they get pulled out. Talk to them, put them right back in there. There's no point letting them sit on the sideline and sulk.
It
Put
doesn't
them
do any
back
good.
in there, learn that mistake and things like that. I think one of the better things that Clarendon School District or the community did was when they brought me in, they also made me the high school principal. So I'm there all day with them, checking grades, make sure they're there. I think that's going to be a big help with the football team and things like that. I really do.
That'll help you get some more kids out of the hallways onto the field too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then week one, you're traveling down here to Little Rock to play Episcopal. What are you hoping to see from your team in your first game with this squad?
Well, I tell my boys the the first 3 games, first 4 weeks, the first quarter, we're going to see how we are. I don't care if we have a win. I don't care if we have a loss. I don't care if we have a tie. Our main focus is conference and getting the playoffs and state title. These 4 games, we're going to play hard. We're going to evaluate after those 3 weeks, take that bye week on week 4 and get ready for playoffs. So when we come up here and play Episcopal, I do believe Carlisle and Riverview, if I'm
That's
not
right.
mistaken, they're going to see everything. They're going to see everything we got in our playbook, offensively, defensively, special teams, because we need to keep evaluating on film, so we're going to go. So they're going to see everything. We're not going to be like, we're out here to just win, win, win. We want to grow from that. So we're ready for conference and playoffs. That's our main key goal this year.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm from Des. Everybody knows. I mean, our conference is usually a gauntlet. This year, it might be to beneficial to Clarendon to help you out this year. Some moving, some coaching changing. I think there's 4 new coaches in the conference this year. So, that'll help Clarendon out, get you some success early, get going, and see what happens from there, Coach.
That's why I told him. Like I said, I was friends with Coach Powell. He was at EPC. He actually brought me to Osceola.
Okay.
So we were together for a couple of years. He went to EPCs and he went to Rivercrest. And, I was like, thank you. But I love the guy to death. I love him to death. And EPC graduated a lot. Cross County graduated a lot. A lot of coaches. Mariana Lee's got a new coach, like you said. I think the conference is actually going to be. It could be anybody. It's like, you got your Des Arcs
Yeah.
and your Mark Trees. I put them in the top tier of my conference. I really do. I'm not even going to I'll be honest with
Earl.
you. And Earl. But I think it's going to be a wide open this year. We might be able to do something. Hopefully we can, and not to put any other teams down. But
Right.
I think it's going to be a real
Yeah,
exciting conference this year. I really do.
I think so too. I think it's like you said, it's wide open. Earl, that's another one of those teams that's loaded with talent. Just getting on the buy-in. If you got Earl scheduled towards the end of the year when it gets cold, I think your odds of beating them is better. They don't like to play when it's cold. That's been my opinion on
Your
that.
opinion,
But
I got you. I think Earl and might be similar teams to see who can do better.
who can
Well,
do
I
better?
think
There
we're
you
similar
go.
teams, so I think we can do that. But I'll be excited to play them.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Coach. And just in this interview, I have to say I love the direction that the Clarendon Lion football program is heading in, and I'm excited for y'all's season. Thank you so much for coming out to Jacksonville, Coach.
Like I said, I thank you guys for having us out here too. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
man.
Yes, sir. We're
When
about to have some of their offensive players come on real quick for their quick interview, followed by a couple defensive players here in just a second. Before we get started with our offensive players here, we'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors for the Clarendon Lions. It's coming from Middleton Pharmacy and the Lions Den. Who am I here with now?
William Wise.
Colin James.
And looking at y'all's season, like we said, it's a fresh slate from last year. Y'all got a brand new head coach. What are y'all hoping for out of this new season?
I just want to win, man. At all things, get better than last year.
To be establish each game and learn different things about each team and how to basically beat them. That's what I'm trying to say.
And what positions do y'all play?
I play running back and linebacker.
I play quarterback and hybrid safety.
So this is going to be y'all's offense. Y'all are going to be in the backfield every single game. And, y'all have some tough teams on the schedule. We just talked to Carlisle, and they have a very good squad. They do most years. Desark's going to have a good team. So just getting prepared week in and week out with a new head coach, just keeping a good mentality, making sure the hopes don't get down. So what are y'all going to do to make sure y'all establish a good season?
Let me think. To be able to, you go real quick.
I think if we want to have a good season, we just need to work hard, man. Be teammates to each other.
Each player needs to learn how to solve their problems and go on from it and mistakes. If you make a mistake, just keep going and keep doing what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, ask somebody and they'll help you. And that's how a team solves to win games.
And have y'all been enjoying Coach Donaldson so far this year?
Yes, sir.
It seems like a great coach, and I'm sure y'all are excited to play this season. And looking at week 1 against Episcopal, what are y'all going to do to make sure y'all are ready for week 1?
You go, because I'm thinking.
I'm just going to study playbook, watch film on them, see what I can get, see what the other safeties and stuff like.
Understand their offense, how their linebackers and defensive linemen move, the corners, the secondary, safeties, all that. To understand how to read them and understand how to get to the end zone quicker. And on defense, be able to learn their offense and establish us to beat them.
And then, just at a broad view of the season, of course, coming off an 0-10 record, not a lot of high hopes for the football community, but y'all are looking to change that. So heading into this season, what's just a mentality? Of course, new head coach trying to establish a new foundation. What's the mentality heading into this season?
We just got to keep stacking days each day of the week and keep going.
There's no downside. I mean, you can't go any farther from 0-10. It's on the up.
And then y'all have had these 7-on-7s. What have y'all seen from yourselves as a team so far this summer?
Help each other out, be leaders, and don't just break down somebody, make them feel bad for themselves.
I've seen there's a lot of uplifting. There's no arguing. Everybody's there for each other.
And then, just keeping these solid mentalities. There was only 3 double-digit scoring games last year from this offense. Looking to change that this year, you'll have an offensive-heavy coach, has an offensive resume for sure. It sounds amazing. So I'm sure he's going to lead you on the right direction to change that. So how is this offense going to be changed this year to make sure that y'all are putting points on the board?
And we're running spread, so we'll be able to spread the ball out quicker, and we have a lot of speed on our team, so we'll be able to establish down the field quicker and just have explosive plays.
Yeah, the playbook really helps me read the defense really well, and it helps my teammates get open.
And what grades are y'all going into?
Be a senior.
I'll be a junior.
So what are you hoping for mainly out of your senior year?
Give it all I got, and my teammates give me all they got.
And you still got 1 more year left. You're going to be in your senior year next year, just trying to establish a little bit with this team here in your junior year and still be a quarterback potentially for them next year. So what are you hoping for from this season?
Small steps every day. Work our way toward getting better.
All right, well, we appreciate y'all coming on. We're going to get a quick word with some of the defensive players here in just a second.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all, boys.
All right.
All right, and we're back, and here with some of the defensive-headed players here on this Clarendon Lions team. What's y'all's names?
Chandler Everett, Jalen Henderson.
It's nice to talk to y'all today, and like we talked about with them, you got a new head coach, got y'all's defensive coordinator here as well, Coach Bones. What's been the foundation and the culture that they've been establishing to y'all this summer?
They basically just been showing us teaching the discipline, just just to be a team. You know what I'm saying? Just so we really had a lot of problems with attitudes last year. You know what I'm saying? Us just not being a team. So they just basically just trying to plan us being a team and just sticking together and just working together on
And
defense.
what's went into kind of changing that? What's went into the attitude changes? Has it been a lot of Coach Donaldson just kind of giving y'all a reset, giving a fresh breath almost, kind
Yeah,
of just giving y'all
yeah,
a
I
fresh
say,
start?
yeah, I say it's heavy on that. Pretty much like going back to the fundamentals, just pretty much just resetting in the brain, starting off with the little base things, getting pretty much everybody back to buying in to change the culture back on the football side of things.
Yes, sir.
What positions do y'all play?
I play safety, free safety, cornerback, and wide receiver.
Yeah, I play safety and wide receiver.
So both of y'all at safety, kind of what's the mindset being back there, kind of the back part of the defense? Kind of, I'm sure it's fun to play back there. So what's kind of a mindset, just making sure that you're holding your own part back there?
Pretty much just the quarterback of the defense, being very vocal and loud and making sure that my guys up front can see it before it happens.
Yeah, most definitely just staying over top. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you can see everything before the secondary can see it. You know what I'm saying? Just staying over top, just watching everything. Yes, sir.
And then they told us that in a 7-on-7 recently, y'all didn't give up any touchdowns or anything until the last moment. So what's went into this defensive success, making sure that y'all do y'all's parts game in and game out?
Just staying disciplined, understanding your assignments, making sure you read the correct reads you feel me, on the field, and just being vocal as a teammate, helping your other teammates know what their job is if they need help.
Yes, sir. I most definitely agree with him on that. Just staying disciplined, just doing your job.
And then, we hate to harp on it, but coming off the 0-10 season, like we said, there's no downside. It's only up. I
Yes,
mean, you
sir.
can't get any worse. So this season got high hopes. Y'all got a new head coach, and he seems very confident in y'all. That confidence, I'm sure, being instilled in y'all every single day, that's going to lead to some wins for sure.
Oh, most
What
definitely.
are y'all hoping for out of this season?
I'm hoping for at least a solid season. You feel me? Hopefully making the playoffs for surely. I would love to make at least to a game of the playoffs and just see where things go.
For me, just do better. Just a little to see to do better. You got to do better.
Yeah, just taking baby steps. Just you feel me? Just showing a lot of progression from last year. We had a lot of discipline, attitude problems last year. A couple games got ejected due to several reasons. Just pretty much just making an overall improvement from last year, but most definitely making it to the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And it sounds like you've already made a lot of improvement from Coach Donaldson. And, week 1 is coming up quicker than we know it, and that's going to
Yes.
be at Episcopal. Days are going by quick to
Yes,
get there.
sir.
Just got past the dead week. So now, it's really time to lock in and grind until it's week 1. So what are y'all going to do to make sure y'all are ready for that first game?
Just continue to focus on the little things, keep stacking days, taking it one day at a time, honestly, and just be prepared overall across the field.
Yeah, most definitely just stay prepared. So we ain't got to get prepared. Just keep working.
What's one thing y'all are both excited for this upcoming season?
Just switching the culture around, just getting that one win that we haven't felt feel like forever.
Most
Honestly.
definitely the change.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm ready for, the change.
Well, Coach Donaldson sounds like he's building a phenomenal football program here in Clarendon with the Lions. And, it sounds like they're going to be built for success this season. Like we said, the only way is up. Next team we look like we have is going to be the Des Arc Eagles. We'll be back here on the Arkansas Sports Network Football Fridays here in just a second.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir.
As always, we want to thank Middleton Pharmacy and Lions Den Drive-In for supporting the Clarendon Lions and us here at the Arkansas Sports Network, and also First Arkansas Bank and Trust. We want to go ahead and thank them for supporting us here on Football Fridays on the Audible at the Arkansas Sports Network. We will be right back after a moment from our sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go away.
All right, we're back here live on the Arkansas Sports Network on our Football Friday media days here at Jacksonville High School. Appreciate Jacksonville and everything they've done hosting. Want to appreciate our sponsors again. We've got first Arkansas Bank and Trust. See their logo behind us there. Appreciate them, everything they've done. Huge support for us in our Football Friday quest this summer. I want to appreciate Metcalf Trucking, ATU, Arkansas Tech University, Tyson Foods, D3 Auto Sales, Warp Stream. We have a link for them in our bio, and Toad Thumper Lures. Want to appreciate them. And we've got Desark in the house now. We got head
Yes,
coach
sir.
Nick Smith with me here. Made it to the state championship in your first year as head coach last year. Talk to me about how last year went.
Semifinal.
Oh, that was the
Semifinals. Yep.
semis.
Yep.
Semis against Cross County.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So, talk to me about how last year went.
Yeah, it was a great season. Learned a lot as a first year head coach. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Learned how to keep a team together. There were times that we had really good highs, and then go on a couple games losing streak, and then just learning to keep the coaching staff together, make sure that they understand our standard, and then to relay that to the kids. Having three of the four semifinal teams in our conference.
Yes.
We went on that stretch where we played at Cross County and then at APC. Very tough stretch. Those two teams are in the state finals, and so relaying that to our kids to make sure that we keep the standard every single day. They did a great job. After that 2-game stretch of going, then one of our biggest rivalries, McCrory, week 10, to be able to bounce back and win that game and then go on a run in the playoffs, playing two really good teams in Hector and Mineral Springs.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know what Cross County had as a team, very well coached team. And three of the four guys that were on that staff, coaches, are now head coaches again. Coach Pascal goes on to Harrison, and then Coach Hag and Coach Hill are head coaches now. So they're a very well coached team. Our football team learned a lot. Me as a head coach learned a ton going through last year. And then I know our kids, our upperclassmen this year, they learned a lot going through the season last year.
That game, the Cross County game in the semifinals, there was a play or two right before halftime that if it goes the other way and we score that touchdown, Desart scores that touchdown right then.
Sure.
That's a different game.
It is, and there were a couple penalties in that game, and we kind of had a couple things dialed up offensively. And if it goes the other way, I think it is a different game. But you got to tip your cap to Cross County and what they did.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But it was an impressive stretch, though. After y'all lost to EBC in week second to last game of the regular season, your ninth game, getting that big win over McCrory, which is a little rivalry that a lot of people don't know about, and then going to Hector in the playoffs. I know there were a lot of Wildcat fans. They had Lucas Baker, really good back, huge. I mean, the offensive production he left there was just massive. That they thought they had a really good chance to knock you off, and y'all put 58 points on the board. Walk me through that game and how that felt.
Yeah, it was. I tell our kids all the time. I've been a part of Desark. I just finished my 6th year there. We went to the state title game my first year, offensive coordinator, in 2020, and that game was one of the most fun games I've been a part of.
Wow.
The atmosphere was electric. Coach Cooper that was there did a great job with those guys.
Yes.
You're talking about the running back. He had 2,000 yards in 10 games.
Right.
They were really explosive offense. Their atmosphere, their fans, like they had a really good atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
And they had the big 6'6", 6'7" receiver that was a threat. We had some smaller corners, so they kind of took advantage of that. But our kids just stayed the course. We knew we had to be the more physical team, and we really were that game. And it was a lot of fun. We got Jamie Collins here today with us, and he had a really good game. And a lot of people when they watch us play, kind of get boring, watching us play. But if we're successful with the fullback running the ball, we're going to keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
That game against Hector changed Hector's philosophy. I've got some friends up there, and they have changed to be more physical this year.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We interviewed them at our first media days a few weeks back in Russellville, and That was the whole talk was we got to get more physical because of what happened in their last game of the season.
Sure.
Which ended their season. So, yeah, an impressive night. And you took down Mineral Springs. Mineral Springs was a little bit of a surprise to make it to the quarterfinals there. Got a big win there, and then of course, ended with Cross County, who went on to win the whole thing. And like y'all talked about, a couple plays here and there. It's a lot closer than the score indicated, which it was 27-8. It was respectable, anyways. But so you had a great year, first year as the head coach here, Nick Smith, and 8-5 overall. But let's talk about this year now. Some of the guys you got coming back, you've definitely got a lot of pieces. You got your quarterback Goodman, you got Collins. Talk to me about some of your guys.
Yeah, returning Goodman back, he's going to be a 3-year starter at quarterback for us. Everybody likes to talk about his size, but once he does run the ball, and he gets to the second and third level, he's pretty elusive.
I think I've called him Tim Tebow a few
Yeah,
times. He's
yeah.
built like him,
And he
Yeah.
doesn't have a fractured leg this year. So
No, he does not.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
people that don't know, he was playing on a fractured leg all season, missed one game. We were kind of treating it like a calf. He comes from a tough family, tough people, and he was treating it like a calf injury. He didn't want to go to the doctor because they were going to say
Right.
you're probably going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, and I
Mhm.
can't. If I told him, hey, you need to sit a game, for him to sit the EPC game it was a killer to him for me to say that. And so we were treating it like a calf. He goes to the doctor after the first cross county game. A young man by Danny Beal
Yeah.
maybe you heard of him.
fell on him.
If he falls on you, something's breaking,
For
something's snapping.
for fans that have seen him in the Razorback uniform, he's massive. I mean, he's gonna be playing on Sundays.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, he's just
And
legit.
so he falls on Hudson after a pass play, and he comes to the sideline and says, "Coach, it's not the same. It's not normal. This is different." And so he goes and gets a X-ray, and they said it's actually was on its way to healing. So it was a healing fracture. It was
Oh,
halfway
wow.
healing itself. He had been playing on it so long, and so we decided to sit him the next week against EPC, and that helped him out a lot. But finished the end of the rest of the season, and really helped us throughout the playoff run. But returning Hudson and then Jamie Collins, who's 1,000-yard back for us this last year, going to be a huge part of our offense. And then we had a young man named CJ Wilhite, had a couple big plays, a couple times that you guys came and streamed our games. He would get some play here and there. Very explosive. He's probably a 4'6", 4'5" guy,
Wow.
40, really explosive. He finished the year in track 4th in the 100, which we haven't really had much of that in Desart, that kind of speed. And so he's going to help us out a lot. We're moving one of our receivers from the past 2 years, Braden Canup, to slot. He's really good with the football, does a good job in the blocking game.
He's a good sized young man.
He is. We're looking at probably 6 foot, 6'1", probably 190.
He really impressed me in the McCrory game last year.
Yeah.
He had some big plays.
Sure.
I feel like it was defensively as well.
Sure.
He's played linebacker or defensive
So
end?
so
Can't
we
remember.
started him out last year at our strong safety, who's a hybrid
that's right.
linebacker
Yeah, like
safety
a rover
position.
kinda
Yeah.
thing.
And we made throughout the year we made the decision to move him to inside linebacker, and it was the best decision we ever made.
Nice.
He has a nose for the football, great
yeah.
instincts, and he's going to be in the box this year playing linebacker. We're not going to make that mistake again.
Nice. Yeah.
So
That's it there, learning from your mistakes, Nick.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and you got his brother here today. We're going to talk to him
Yeah.
a little bit as
Yeah.
well. He's another guy playing in the slot offensively, Beckett. But yeah, so a lot of guys you've talked about so far. Tell me about the offensive lineman you got coming back.
Yeah, so we returned one, Easton Estes. He'll be a junior. He played center for us, did a great job playing center. We're actually going to shift him to a tackle. We're going to move him out to tackle and replacing 4 of those guys. We had 32 on the team last year and 16 were seniors. So half the team was seniors. We're replacing 2 guys that had started every single game since they were freshmen. Chandler Dobbins and Cole Hunt had to move in from Cabot. Caleb Roberts. He was somebody that you couldn't miss. He was about 6'5", 6'6", about 300 pounds. And so having to replace 4 of those guys, we got some guys that have been waiting to turn and putting work in the weight room. And I think they're going to do a really good job this year.
They can only help them to go against those guys in practice last year or the last 2 or 3 years. Most of these kids that are from Desert have played on Pee Wee program. They played on the line then, so it's moving them to the line. getting there. That's just their turn.
That's
You know,
right.
that's what goes on in programs.
Absolutely.
Well, you brought Mark Tennyson and Bennett Knight with you today.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about what they bring into the line and what kind of experience they do have.
Yeah, so Mark Tennyson, they're both going to play guards for us. We put our bigger guys at guards, our road graders at guards. Those guys have been really consistent in the weight room. They love the weight room. Mark brings a lot of enthusiasm. Anytime we're doing anything as a group, as a team, he brings a lot of enthusiasm. He loves the camaraderie, the brotherhood of our team. His work ethic, does a great job with his work ethic. Bennett's the same way. He's going to be a junior. Mark's going to be a senior. Bennett's been working his tail off in the weight room, and kind of the same thing. These guys are just very consistent every day with their play, with their technique, and those are two guys that whatever we tell them to do, they're going to do it, and with great effort and great technique. So,
how many seniors do we have this year?
We're looking at about 7.
That's what I was
7
thinking.
seniors. Yep.
How many is on your total roster right now?
We're looking at 26.
26.
Yep.
Okay, 7 seniors. Um, off camera, you'll like to hear this, Coach. But I was talking to all your guys that you brought today. You brought 5 of them, and I was asking about who you got first, and then we were talking about the Earl game and the one that y'all kind of stumped your toe on last year. Of course, they were a great team. It wasn't
Sure.
like you stumped your toe. I mean, that was a legit tough team, and they won by 2. Really good game, but it was Mark. It was like we just really need to focus on ourselves. It don't really matter. We don't
Yeah.
have nobody penciled in, which was, that's the kind of thing you want to hear in a senior, showing some leadership right
Sure.
there.
Sure. And that's something that we always talk about. It's not about anybody else but us.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell them who's the one person that can beat us, and we always say us. Every kid in the locker room says us.
Nice.
And so if we can keep our focus on us and worry about us and what we do every single day, that's all I want them to worry about. If you start worrying about other people, your focus turns away from the most important thing. And we always talk about the most important thing is that DA and that eagle, the green and white.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important thing for us.
Who's your defensive coordinator, Coach?
Kind of right now we're doing it as a collective unit.
Okay.
We just hired a young man named Jawan Day.
Oh yeah,
A lot of people may
May know
remember
that
that
name.
name.
Brett Bielema.
Yeah. He played running back at North Little Rock and then actually signed with the Razorbacks. And so didn't get much play as Razorbacks.
He got hurt a little bit
He
too,
did get
yeah.
hurt. But we talk about it all the time. The running back room when he was there was outrageous. We're talking about Riley Williams, Alex
Oh, yeah.
Collins, Cody Walker, all those guys. But he brings a lot of good experience, playing experience and coaching experience. I could see him, taking that role on eventually as the defensive coordinator.
Nice. We've talked a lot about the offense. Defensively, one of the guys stepping in to help coach that squad. Tell me a little bit about who you got coming back. I know a lot of your guys are going both ways, but is there anybody on defense we haven't talked about yet that's going to be a difference maker for you?
Well, like I said, Braden Canuck, he's going to play one of our inside linebackers. Jamie Collins will be the other linebacker, Mike linebacker.
Right.
We returned C.J. Wilhite at corner. So he's going to play a slot and then a corner for us. Okay. We got a couple of young guys that are going to step up into some really good positions. We got Luke McIntosh with us today. He's going to start at our rover.
I was fixing to mention he's an athlete. I mean, I've watched him do a lot of things.
Absolutely, yeah. Freshman year last year on the baseball team, hit 500.
Yeah.
He pitched really well for him. He's just a really good athlete. Him and Beckett were on our junior high team last year. We actually played cross county for the junior high championship. They ended up beating us. They had some really good size, but those guys did a really good job leading that junior high team. We stumbled early, but we went on a 5-game stretch, winning 5 in a row, and those guys did a really good job leading that. So we're really excited about our youth on our team and in our program, and they're going to do a good job on that defense.
You was telling me over there before we got on here that the program's in pretty good hands with our junior high program, 9th, 8th, 7th grade. I mean, you said you're going to have an issue dressing everybody out. When you have 40 jerseys, and that's a big thing to have.
Yeah,
You can't.
problem to have.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just on the phone with my helmet guy today. I had to make a 20 helmet purchase, and that's not normal for what we do. We're looking at 4 or 5 a year, but I'm looking at 16 to 20 helmet purchase. I've got almost 20 7th graders. Then we're going to dress probably roughly about 40 in the junior high program.
No chance of going to 3A, right? We're not.
I know, no, I don't think so.
I got asked that question yesterday.
Right.
No.
And, for people that don't know, Desert's transitioning from the most beautiful grass field in Arkansas to turf this
Yeah,
year.
I
So
was
absolutely
surprised to hear. I mean, it's gonna be nice, but
Yeah.
you just get so used to going to Desark, and it's such a tough place to play at. And you got the big eagle that y'all run out of, one of the best logos in the state. Great jerseys. Got that old Philadelphia Eagle look to you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, having the turf coming in, have they already started on it?
Yes, we couple of guys when they were driving in. Everybody likes to drive by. I live right on campus, and the amount of traffic that's drove by the field is pretty high. Yeah, they were laying some of the rock that they have underneath the pad before they put the turf. And so
Is it like a pellet style, or I know there's a trend, a new thing going. Prairie Grove was the first to get it.
yeah,
A lot of softball, baseball fields around the state are getting it's pelletless. So I don't know
yeah,
what y'all are doing.
we scrimmaged Lone Oak, and they had the pellets were really down low.
It's actually Billy Dawson, the old
Yeah,
coach from
yeah, yeah,
Nashville.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
him and his
Gio.
brother that own that
Yes,
company
yeah.
that are doing it.
We went with Sprint Turf, I believe out of Memphis, West Memphis. Coach
Nice.
Billy Elmore, who was a head coach in Arkansas. He is now kind of the rep with them, so we went with them.
Cool.
And yeah, we're really excited about the turf. It's going to help all of our athletic pro. I'm the athletic director at Des Arc, and so the advantages it's going to give us throughout all of our programs.
Right.
We're actually going to have 2 lanes of track. Um, Lined out, white lines for our track around our field.
Nice.
And so, our track program has kind of gone to the next level in the last couple of years, and our kids were running on gravel roads.
Right.
And so, for us to get that, it's going to help all of our programs.
So you're losing the grass, but you're getting a really nice turf, and the graveyard's just still going to be there, though.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
still got to
we'll
come there.
never get rid of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween this year. Where are you playing? Let me look at the schedule. You
At
got
McCroy on the
on
30th.
the 30th at McCroy.
Yeah.
So no one gets to come to the graveyard
That's
that
right.
night.
That's right.
But yeah, man, it's been great stuff that you're bringing to the table here today, Coach Smith.
Yep.
It's a lot to be excited about. Talk about your strength and weaknesses one more time here, or hit on that before we get your players in here. Um, from what I'm hearing, inexperienced offensive line. That'd probably be one of your things that want to get the concerns.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
you got to get some experience there,
Sure.
but you feel good
Sure.
about your squad. What else can you tell
Absolutely.
me about that?
Yeah, our skill players, a lot of experience.
Yes,
And,
sir.
older guys. Our 4 in the backfield, quarterback, B back, and both of our slots are going to be all seniors.
Yes, sir.
And so we feel really confident about our backfield. And then another weakness, and we were talking about it on the way here, our defense. We just got to tackle them all better. We didn't tackle very well last year, and so and they'll all tell you, if we had the whole team here, they'd tell you what's the one thing we need to work on defensively. I said tackling.
Tackling.
And so that's kind of our focus going into the year.
Are y'all running a 3-4 defensively most of the time?
We'll be a 4-2-5.
4-2-5.
4-2-5.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so you got a couple safeties, rovers. You kind of walk down like linebackers for the box,
Sure.
depending on who you're playing, obviously. But
Sure.
sounds like linebackers definitely one of your strengths. With Canup and Collins, of course, back there. And
Absolutely.
sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I think y'all are poised to have another really good year, coming off a quarterfinal or a semifinal finish last year against Cross County, 8-5. But got a lot of experience back in the skill spots, especially. It sounds like everything's going to be really excited, for Desert this year.
Yeah,
A lot of things to be really, looking forward to if you're a Desert fan for sure.
D3 and myself are proud of Des Arc and
Oh,
the
yeah.
program there. We're behind that 100%. We do support some other places, but
I know both of y'all will know this, but a lot of people don't understand the tradition of Desert. But how many state championships y'all played for?
5.
It's pretty shocking. A lot of people probably think 1 or 2, but it's 5. And that's
08, or
very few programs can say
75,
that.
76, 08, 13, and 21. 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 2020.
And we should have won that one. Luke Horton doesn't have a tore up arm. We win that one.
Y'all been in the semis multiple
Oh,
times
yeah,
as
that's
well.
Sure.
So
Sure.
playing
yeah.
after Thanksgiving is the standard at Des Arc.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's always good. If you're playing after Thanksgiving, it's always a good season for sure. All right, well, Coach Nick Smith, appreciate you coming in
Yep.
here and talking
Appreciate
to us.
having us. Yes, sir. Appreciate
And
it.
we're going to get some players in here. We'll just get 2 at a time. Looks like we're going to get Luke McIntosh and Jamie Collins coming in. So I got Jamie right here to my left, number 22. Luke on the end, number 7. I was there. Talked to you about it off camera a little bit a couple years ago when you had that big breakout game against EPC. Uh, Huge game. You were coming in for number 33 and got a little banged up. You come in and they couldn't stop you on the dive. You just kind of never quit after that. You know, you kind of took over that role and just had a huge year last year. I think you were over 1,000. And just tell me about what it's been like since you've been in high school and since that game.
It's just been effort for me. I went from not playing sports uh, all the way up through elementary to finding a great family. Just wants me to push harder, drive as far as I can get.
It's awesome.
I do have a kind of a family legacy that I kind of follow. I'm a younger cousin of Luke Morton, so I'm always kind of chasing after him. I always want to be better than he is, but I just have these great guys around me push me further, and I just enjoy the game of football.
Yes, sir. What's your weight now? Because I know that game when you came in, you look a lot different now. I'll tell you that much.
I'm around 190 right now.
Yeah, I think you're about 160 back then. You know.
I was pretty small.
Yeah. You got Luke down here on the end playing some defensive back, some running back. Talk to me about this year's team and what you're excited about going into it.
Yes, sir. I'm just ready to play, to be honest. I'm just, uh, our team's like experienced with Jamie, and our backfield's really experienced, and our line's gonna get it done, and our defense is gonna tackle better, and just ready to play.
Yes, sir. Are you I think I wrote down running back. Are you kind of like a halfback, kind of play slot a
I
little bit?
play slot, and Jamie's backup, so
Okay. Nice. What's your favorite play to be called on offense?
probably dive. I like
Oh yeah.
dive.
Yeah. What about when you get the ball? You know, was it like an
Um,
in around,
uh,
little
uh,
sweep?
yeah, sweep, like
Yeah.
slot, like sort of sweep play, I guess.
You you look you always trying to bounce it outside, or you know how to put your foot in the ground and get vertical and
Just
take what
find
you can
the
get?
openings, get.
Yes, sir. That's right. Um, Talk to me what it's been like playing for Coach Smith as your head coach going into his second year now. How that's been.
It's just he's a great leader for us. Teaches us the right ways to do stuff. Uh, or teaches us about faith and everything right.
Yeah, he's a great role model. Great guy to look up to. No matter what you're going through, he's always there. He has meetings with us, talks with us, deep conversations. You can kind of come to him for anything: football, baseball, basketball, whatever you're going through, life. He's just a great guy to look
Yeah,
up to.
teaching you how to be great young men, fathers one day, and brothers and everything else. So that's great to hear. Who's the funniest guy on the team?
Probably Mark right
Mark.
there.
Mark, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Mhm.
Just a little bit. I've been around him. Who's the guy that's the crazy one? Gets y'all fired up. You know, is it one of y'all or
I mean,
probably Mark as well? Does
everybody's a
anybody
little
slam their head in the
crazy.
Yeah,
locker or
everybody's.
anything like that?
You play enough smash mouth football, you get a little
Oh,
crazy.
you're right.
But
You got to.
Mark and Bennett are always joking around, get everybody hyped, no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a certain pregame meal you always do, or
I mean,
what's your favorite?
chicken tender from the gas station
Oh
Yeah.
and a
yeah,
Gatorade. Yeah, that's
honey
probably my
mustard,
go-to.
barbecue sauce, which
Ranch.
ranch? Okay, same for you.
Yes, sir.
What's it been like playing for Coach Smith for you as well?
It's just leadership, everything like that. He teaches us how to be good guys off the field. He's gonna teach us how to be fathers one day,
Yeah.
and just everything pretty much.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, appreciate y'all coming in here and interviewing. We're gonna
Sir.
get two more in here. We got three left. Who's gonna go by themselves? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Same. They're gonna be nice to us and not bring both offensive linemen in here with me, so we'll have enough room to get everybody in the frame. So we got number 53 coming in. That's Bennett Knight and number 21 Beckett Canuck. All right, Bennett, you're a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you? So you didn't start on the offensive line last year, is that correct?
No, sir. I got a few plays in whenever.
Yeah. So how's that transition been? Being having to be a leader on the front right now.
I think it'll be hard, but I also think that it's very needed
Yes, sir.
because last year we had Chandler Dobbins, who's very hard to follow up. He's a big guy,
Big
hard to,
shoes to fill.
but I think I can fill him.
Yeah. We were talking with Coach about your strengths and weaknesses. One of the things, you got a lot of skill guys back, but the offensive line is going to be young. So that's going to be extremely important to the overall success of the team. How do you feel like y'all have gelled so far through the spring?
I think we've done pretty well trying to just rebound because he was right. We've lost a lot of linemen. We've gained a lot of skill though.
Yes, sir.
But I think it'll just be we'll find a way to tough through it.
Figure it out. Yeah. Yes, sir. Beckett, you got your brother on the team as well.
Yes,
What
sir.
year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
This was okay, and he's a senior now, ain't
Yes,
he?
sir.
Okay. So, has he been a good role model for you? Does he help you out a little bit, or does he
Yeah.
kind of let you do your own thing?
Well, he's hard on me sometimes,
Right.
but I mean, I think it's very well needed. He's hard on me, but he treats me well too.
Yes, sir. What's it like playing the slot for this offense?
I don't start on slot, but I think it's playing slot for this offense. You can do many things. You can run the ball, you block, you go out for passes. It's just it's very there's a wide variety of things you have
Yes, sir.
to have to play slot on this offense.
You like blocking?
Yes, sir.
You play defensively. You play defensive back.
Yes, sir.
Is that corner or safety or
Corner.
corner? What do you like better, offense or defense?
Probably defense.
Yeah. Did you go ahead?
I feel like I'm kind of fast, so I can. I'm not very good at man coverage, but I like zone coverage really good.
Mm-hmm. Did you get any interceptions last year in junior high?
I had one.
You had one.
Yes, sir.
Nice. You remember what team it was against?
I think it's EPC.
Nice, nice. Tell me what it's like for y'all to playing for Coach Smith. What's he mean to y'all?
I think he's very important to this team because he's always been like a role model for me, even when I was not even in like seventh grade. I always looked up to him because he's always, he's always there. He's always nice.
Genuine guy.
He's genuine. He's not trying to degrade you. He's always trying to build you up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a great role model. His first year here, they went to the state championship, so he obviously has a lot of experience.
Right.
He's just a great guy to be around.
Yes, sir. I was asking y'all earlier off camera if there's any teams you kind of got marked, that you're thinking about more than any others, or just taking it one game at a time?
Just one game at a time.
Yes, sir.
Always starting out 0-0.
Got Palestine Wheatley, I believe, first
sir.
up, if I remember right. Yeah, I got it right here. Um, so that's the first one. I'm sure y'all just working on yourselves right now.
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't really talked about any, week to week stuff yet. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Actually, I'll get a couple more questions for you. Mark Tennyson, I'm hearing he's the crazy guy, funny guy.
Oh,
Get y'all going.
He's hilarious.
Y'all feel the same way?
Yes, sir.
He's the one guy you can always trust to bring your mood up.
Yes, sir.
Always talk to him about anything, do anything with him.
What's y'all's favorite pregame meal?
Ooh. I would say Miss Shauna's. We have one of our friends, Miss Shauna's, his mom. She makes the best chicken Alfredo.
Oh yeah, nice.
I don't really eat much before games.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Get too nervous?
Mm-hmm.
Make you throw up? Feed too much?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate y'all coming in
I
here.
appreciate you.
Oh, what do we got? Are you glad you didn't quit football, Bennett?
Very glad I did. I'm very glad I didn't.
Oh, Beckett. Okay.
Uh,
Are you glad you didn't quit football, I guess?
yeah, seventh grade. I don't know. It was just when I was going into seventh grade, it was hard to make the transition, but I feel like I made the transition pretty good. Now I'm very glad I didn't quit.
Right. Yeah. Feel definitely not regretting it now.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get a couple more of your teammates in. Thank y'all for coming up. That's Beckett Canup on the end there, number 21, and Bennett Knight. Thank y'all, guys. We got one more left, and that is Mr. Mark Tennyson. You can sit wherever. All right, Mark. Everybody's saying you're the guy that gets everybody going. A lot of fun. What's that like? Is it just come natural to you?
Yes, sir. Oh man, this
You
sounds weird. I don't know. I guess I just think I'm funny, you
Yeah.
know?
Offense or defense? What's your favorite?
Offense.
Yeah, I got you down as guard this year and D tackle on the defensive side. We were talking off camera as well about you like getting out and pulling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, always fun to get downhill. You ever get somebody line? I know you got the whole pillback rule now, but you ever get somebody that's not quite seeing you? You know, where you still got your shoulders crossed?
Yes, sir.
Like to clean the clock there.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that fun? Good feeling.
Mhm.
Right. You ever knock anybody's cleats off? Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. You hoping you can maybe?
Yes, sir.
What's it like having a quarterback like Goodman?
Uh, it's really good having somebody to return that knows what he's doing, and I feel like it's really good to have a really good quarterback like him.
Yes, sir. What about blocking for guys like Collins in the backfield? What's that like?
Well, in my opinion, I think Collins, even if he didn't have a line, he can run through anybody.
Yeah.
But it's really good having a running back like him because he, in the Hooten's book, it said he got second place. You know, in rushing yards, he was 10 yards away from first place, which is really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been fun to watch. Um, y'all are very young on offensive line. You're one of the guys taking over. You're a senior on this team. Um, did you start last year?
I started on diesel formation.
Okay. Is that like a goal line or what is diesel?
It's just a formation for linemen where we just get the biggest people up front to
Right.
move the ball.
Yeah, I got you. Kind of a short yardage kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
Nice. But a lot of skill guys back. Offensive line is one area of concern because you're inexperienced, but it feels like coach has a lot of confidence in y'all. So y'all sound like y'all are pretty confident in yourselves. What do y'all got to do to gel to really, not be a weakness and to be something that is kind of a standard or a strength, I should say.
Yes, sir. What is it okay if
So
you say reset that?
yeah, no problem. So what do y'all got to do to kind of gel and to not be a weakness on this team to have a better season this year?
Tackling on defensive
defense.
wise, we gotta learn how to tackle low, take out the legs. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wrap up. Yes, sir. Well, Mark, just great stuff here from Desart. Y'all coming off a great year, ended up in the semifinals and got almost all your skill guys back. Got a good size. You and Bennett really got a lot of good size, and everything I'm hearing sounds really, really positive here for the Desert Eagles.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck, man.
Nice
Hey,
to meet you, sir.
one more pregame meal. You got anything your go-to? Anything is your favorite?
I guess fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
Yes, sir.
Anywhere, gas station like one of the other guys, or somebody
Uh,
make it, or
my mom's fried rice. I like that.
there you go. All right, man. Well, that was Mark Tennyson of the Desert Eagles. They're ready to play some football. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. One more time, we want to appreciate First Arkansas Bank and Trust. We want to thank Metcalf Trucking, Arkansas Tech University, Tyson Foods, D3 Auto Sales, Warp Stream, and Toad Thumper Livers. We'll be back on ASN. We are going to have Jacksonville in the house right after this. All right, we'd like to welcome you back here on our Football Friday edition on the Arkansas Sports Network. Talking football all day today here from Jacksonville. We've got the host team in the house now. I've got head coach Reggie Swinton with me. Coach, taking over here at Jacksonville. What's the transition been like?
It's been great from year one to year two. Knowing our players a little bit better,
Yes, sir.
knowing what we can do, and having more weapons this year that we can rely on is going to be big for year two in our football program.
Kids knowing their weapons this year as opposed to
They
last.
know their weapons
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah,
trying to find
yep,
weapons.
exactly.
We're looking to compete. We're not selling ourselves short. We're thinking state title, and that's honestly what we're thinking.
Nice.
And it doesn't mean that you have to be in year 4 or 5 and build up to that. If you have the weapons that you know can get it done, then it's on the coaching staff and it's on our kids staying healthy. And I think we have a good chance.
Go get it if it's there, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all ended the year with back-to-back wins over Whitehall, big wins as well, and Watson Chapel. Put 49 on the board and 60 on the board. Tell me about how that momentum carried y'all into the offseason.
Well, that's something that Jacksonville's not used to. Last year we won 2 straight, then we lost 6 straight, then we won 2 straight to end the season off. And that was the goal, was to end the season with a W, so that we can go into January with the kids, feeling confident. Along with building up our kids' bodies. Last year our kids were very small, um, and so we had to make sure we got our kids um, a lot bigger in the off season, so
Yes,
we
sir.
can withstand a long 10 to 12 or 13 game season. And so that's the whole goal, was to get our kids a lot bigger so that we uh, can break tackles and can make the big plays. I know last year against Cersei, their running back and their quarterback was very powerful, and they wore down our defensive front by themselves. And so that was really a strong point for us, and the emphasis was to make sure we got our kids right body
Yes, sir.
wise.
Mason looks a lot different this year than he did last year when he was with us.
Well, I think he was 183 last year. Now Mason's 195, 197, and he may be faster. But the great thing about this year is, last year, as far as the playmaking ability, we relied on Mason maybe 75% of our time, and then Matthew Goldsberry, and then Keyshawn Glenn. Now we it's not just Mason. It's like 7 other guys.
It'd be hard for the opposing team to just concentrate on him.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing I'm happy about is our coaching staff has done an amazing job. And I would love to name all of my coaches, but our coaching staff has been awesome, and I couldn't ask for a better staff. I'm not one of those coaches that tells my coaches what to do. I allow them to coach what they coach and how they coach until what they coach and doesn't work.
Right.
And then I step in. And our defense has gotten a whole lot better. Up front, one of our big guys that I depend on a lot is Nakaisen Patterson. He's going to have a big senior season. And so he's just one of the guys I can name right now. But just linebacker wise, we have gotten so much bigger and better, and I can't wait to see, how we look against, real competition.
Yeah. You got a motto that's if you ball, I'll call, and I keep up with you on social media, and I can tell by the amount of time you're spending on these kids. That's not a lie. That's 100% the truth.
Well, we have 13 kids with a total of 81 offers, and that may be tops in the state.
Wow.
And my focus is always not to win a state title. I mean, I would love to, and I want to, and we preach that. But my thing is, the more kids I can see go to college. If you read my shirt, it takes more energy to save a life than to take one. So the effort I put into getting these kids offers and seeing these kids go to school, that's a lot of energy. But I don't mind doing that because I would rather do that than to get a phone call that one of my kids has been taken away.
Right.
So that's the main focus, is making sure our kids have a chance to be successful when they put the work in the classroom. That's very important. With our principal, Ms. Mims, is awesome. Our soup and our AD, Dr. Orr, and Coach Hickenbotham. I couldn't ask for a better support staff. And And may I add this, that our AD has purchased a lot of things this year. So when you come to our games and our sidelines, it's going to look like an NFL production. The jumbotron, the replays, the crowd involvement, the Gatorade stands, the tent, the big 75-inch TVs. Like, it's going to be a whole production. And so they're putting forth the effort for us to do well. Now it's our job to go out there and perform and do our job.
You have a nice looking facility here. We was talking about
Oh,
that
yeah.
before we got on air this morning. It's nice. Look out across the field from here. It's I don't know how many high school teams
Yeah, I mean,
schools have this, but it's
it's
pretty nice.
impressive, very
It,
impressive.
it's nice. I love it. But I want to mention something else if I can. Um, the offensive line has come a long way. Coach Bunting has turned those guys around here recently, and offensive line looks really good. And so that's another strong point of ours that we made it a point to make sure our O line, those guys up front, the 5 to 8 guys that we got that can rotate, is awesome. And so people can no longer just focus on Mason Ball. And like right now, I don't just focus on Mason Ball. And last year I did. And so we have tons of guys that can make plays. Um, you have the Jacoby Boones and you have the guys like that that's here now that can carry that load, and Mosiah Davis. And I can just name, Slim Reed. I mean, the list goes on and on. Jaden Hicks. I mean, those guys are playmakers. And so, and with having a good young quarterback now that's emerging, he only had like 4 games experience last year. So he's now learning how to audible at the line of scrimmage, read a defense, things he couldn't do in the past. And so he's getting, a lot of looks. And so we have some weapons here.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can see that.
I was looking over your schedule. Of course, it's absolutely loaded. There's no breathers on the schedule, especially once you get into conference play, but even non-conference. I mean, it's a tough slate. Um, how do you feel this year about where y'all are right now compared to how you felt last year?
Like we just told the kids this yesterday. We had our best week of practice this past week, fresh off our dead period when a lot of teams were trying to find their rhythm. Our kids, they bought in, and we had a good week of practice. And I can tell you right now that we don't fear anyone. When that game is on Friday night and we show up, there's no coming out of our tunnel trying to go find the opposing team and talk in the pregame and shake hands and buddy. We're on a mission, and we ain't trying to be nobody's friends. We're trying to go out there and handle business. Now, after the game, all that can take place. But my guys, we would not come out of the locker room looking to go make friends and shake hands. It's a different Jacksonville team this year,
Right.
and we real serious about our job and what we got to do.
Do you know how many seniors you got on the squad this year?
We got 19 seniors.
19 seniors, and what's your overall roster?
In the off season, we had 83.
Wow.
I've let go of a few kids. A few kids couldn't handle it, so I think we're down to 62, 63. But I'd rather have 62 or 63 soldiers than 100 guys out here just trying to build a football team.
Yeah, you got to let go sometimes if they're
Yeah.
cancer or
Listen.
whatever the case may be.
Listen, we're real serious here in Jacksonville now.
Right.
We're going to battle.
Well, we can tell that just by looking from the outside looking in.
Well, you brought a bunch of them with you today. Really good looking bunch of athletes here. I mean, sounds like a lot of great things are on the cusp here for Jacksonville in year 2 here under you, Coach. Talk to me a little bit about what you would say your strengths and weaknesses are going in.
Our strength will be our defense. When we have the guys out there that we want, we're 2 to 3 deep at a lot of positions. That when we take one out, the one that comes in could really be a starter.
Okay. Yeah.
And our running game is going to be potent. And when you have a 6'4" receiver like Rayshawn Reed or a 6'2" receiver like Jaden Hicks, or you have a little mighty mouse guy like Jacoby Boone and Mosiah Davis who can score like anywhere on the field. Like you pick your poison. Who do you want to take away? You want to take away Mason Ball? Okay, that was fine last year.
Yeah.
Now take away Mason Ball this year. It's going to be okay.
Right.
We have
got somebody else.
Yeah, we got and we have a 10th grade running back that's going to be special. His name Brian Bose Jr. This kid is electrified. He'll be a sophomore, and he'll get plenty of carries, right? And so, the the Jacksonville Titans is here. We
We're
here.
here. Back
Nice.
to the old school days when it was
Yeah,
the red.
hashtag we
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That sounds really exciting. I know everybody in Jacksonville listening to this is loving it. I know Daiquiris and Dogs restaurant, they're loving it, and they're a huge sponsor here for us today, helping bring this. Cersei, you told me you eat there all the time.
Daiquiris and Dogs is the restaurant to go to in Little Rock. It's on University, and so if you
Okay.
got a chance to go by there, hey, dude, it's very, very delicious.
Oh yeah, nice. Sounds good. We may go over there on our way home. Me and Aaron, he's going to be riding with me. Um, but yeah, Coach, man, we appreciate your time up here. Great information. Like I said, I think people need to be looking out. You got a really tough schedule, but like you said, you aren't afraid of anybody. You can tell these guys have really blown up in the weight room. Some of them gotten bigger and faster, and you got a lot of different pieces. Can't just take away ball, or you can't just key in on ball. You got to really worry about these slot guys like Jacoby Boom and these big receivers on the outside like Hicks and Reed. Sounds like a lot of fun, and defensively, a lot deeper than you were last year.
Oh yeah,
a lot more physical. So
You've had some
look out.
success at 7-on-7 in the last couple of weeks, right?
yeah, we did. We went to Fayetteville. It was 35 teams. We finished in the top 8.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
so at team camp at OBU, no one scored on our defense, and there was a
Wow.
lot of teams there. So we had a then we went to the finals at the 7-on-7 at OBU and got beat by PA. So I would love to see PA with pads on though.
Right, right. A lot different. Yeah, but that's exciting. And I mean, just everything's on the up right now for Jacksonville. You talked about how the administration's behind y'all, giving you
Also,
everything you need.
also,
Um, I mean,
they asked me
if
every day,
you're
"What do you
listening,
need?" I'm like, "Y'all done bought everything we needed. Like,
right,
what does y'all want me? Now I can make up some stuff."
right, sure, I'm sure. Yeah, always. But yeah, man, just great interview. Appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, Coach Swinton, and good luck on the season.
I appreciate it.
All
Now
right,
these
we're gonna.
kids I got up here now, they look good as far as body wise,
Yeah,
but them faces,
right,
them,
right. You know,
them for ugly rascals now.
faces only mothers can love, right?
Exactly. Faces made for radio.
All right, we're gonna get some of your players in here. Just bring me two at a time. What kind of number? What did we got here? Oh, 0. It was tucked up. Thought thought it was the U for a second there. I didn't know what was happening. What's your name?
Mason Ball.
Mason Ball, right? And who else we got down here? Yeah, put your headset on. What's your name?
Anthony Rose.
Anthony Roast. ROS. S. Okay. Ross. All right. All right. Mason Ball and Anthony Ross are now joining us. Mason had a huge year last year. It's a really good player here for the Titans. Talk to me about how you feel about how y'all look going into year 2 under Coach Swinton.
Yeah, so this is definitely by far the best team I've ever been a part of. A couple of guys on this team I've been knowing since I was in second grade here in Jacksonville at Pinewood. So coming in with guys I've been knowing my whole life, and adding other guys who have also played with like Tudor back under Coach Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
And then O line wise, I'm just so excited for this year. These are literally my family, like especially my O line. I mean, these are the guys that really gonna carry us.
What's it mean playing for someone like Coach Swinton's got so much experience, Pro Bowler? What's it like having him as y'all's leader?
It means a lot coming from somebody who's been there in your shoes. Everything he tells us, you take it more to heart because he's not just saying it just to say it. He's
Right.
lived it. He's done it. Where he's been is where we're trying to go. So
You can trust him, and he's genuine, and he's a guy that knows what he's talking about when he's talking. Anthony, Coach has been big on talking about discipline and doing things the right way. What has he meant to you as he's been here with you now?
Yeah, so I've been knowing him since I was 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I played for his little league team, he always tried to instill that mentality, like be a winner, never be
Right.
a loser, just be a winner in life, and that goes a long way outside of football.
Oh yeah.
He been a big part of my life. That's why I chose to come back and play for him my last 2 years.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, he was talking about how even though your schedule is really tough, you aren't afraid of anybody anymore.
No.
You're ready to go play, and it sounds like kind of what you just hit on. He's been teaching that since Little League. He's one of those guys. I coach youth softball, and like there's a lot of players that are talented, but it's like they don't want the ball. I'm like, I talk to them all the time, like, you got to want the ball, make a play, get us out of the
Yeah.
inning, defensively, I'm talking about. Same thing at the plate, one pitch at a time, take it. And sounds like, he's kind of instilling that in y'all, that confidence and that y'all can go out there and compete against anybody and expect to win. And like he said, state championships, y'all's go.
Take our 11 over anybody else's.
Yes, sir. What's it? Who's maybe the funniest guy on the team?
I would say Jacoby Boone.
Yeah, Jacoby Boone
Boone.
for sure.
Jacoby Boone.
Coach said he's a Mighty Mouse top player. Which one is he over here?
The
One
one
in the
with
white shirt right here.
Right there,
Mikey.
first one on the phone.
But the thing about Jacoby is he hasn't lost a high school game.
Really?
He's coming off of 2 state champions. I mean,
Where'd he come from?
Bryant.
Bryant. Okay.
So Jacoby is a winner. He might be the funny guy, but he's also one of the guys that got the biggest heart.
Right. Playing some slide or what's he play?
Oh, Jacoby's our gadget.
He's an
Okay.
athlete.
We gon'
Play all around.
Little hybrid guy. Yeah. Nice. Is there a certain guy on the team that kind of get y'all fired up more than anybody? Talk you into running through a wall.
That's a good question. Probably. I mean, you looking at them two right here. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
we definitely, me and Tuda are the guys that like to set the tone.
Right. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know y'all are young, and I'm old school. LeBron or Jordan? Who's the GOAT?
I ain't gonna lie. The competition that players go against nowadays, in my opinion, way better than back then. So I definitely got LeBron.
I got you.
I really can't say because I really don't watch a lot of basketball.
I got you.
So
Who's your favorite NFL players?
like
Derwin James.
I like
Okay.
Ray Lewis.
Oh, well. Yeah.
All time.
Nice. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming up here and interviewing. Good
Yes,
luck
sir.
on
Thank
the
you for
year.
having us.
Sir, thank
Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We're going to get a couple more in. That was Mason Ball and Anthony Ross. Now we're getting number 51 and number 5. What's your name?
Jaden Walter.
Here, put your headset on. Say it again.
Jaden Walter.
Walter. Jaden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who else I got down here? Number 5.
Kingston Burnett.
Kingston Burnett. All right. What position y'all play?
Left tackle.
Okay.
And then quarterback.
Quarterback. Right. All right. You played. Did he say you played 4 games last year?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. So getting to be you're the starter now. It sounds like. Yeah. Been doing everything through 7-on-7 and everything. Tell me about playing for Coach Swinton. What's that been like?
No, it's definitely a transition. Helping me build my character as a quarterback, becoming like a more solid quarterback. Reading defense. Uh, my ability to read the field.
Mhm.
So it's definitely been a great help.
Yes, sir. What's it been like for you, Jaden?
It's been good so far since like improving as much team wise. Him getting other people in here to help us win. So
Right. Are you y'all really hitting it hard in the weight room?
Yes, sir.
of course.
Yeah. Is it what year are you? Senior?
Senior year, yes,
Senior.
sir.
So you were here before he was here. Is it you feel like it's more discipline, more hard work ethic now, or what do you think? You'll lift weights more, do more reps.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed a lot. Yes, sir. Um, Offensively, Kingston, which you like running the ball or throwing it more?
We have weapons all across the field, from the
Right.
center to the left tackle to the quarterback, myself, receivers. So we got talent all over the field. So I'm ready to run the ball, throw the ball, just ready.
Don't matter. Right. Gotcha. Um, Playing left tackle, you got to protect this guy's. Are you right-handed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you got to protect his blind side. What's that like? You like dropping back and pass pro, or you like getting downhill?
I'll say I like both.
Yeah.
Cause as long as me being aggressive, like I could dominate in both pass and run.
Yes, sir. What's it like blocking for a guy like Mason Bull?
Blocking for a guy like Mason Ball is just like him getting in that end zone, man, helping us win.
Yes, sir.
And just like,
To make your job easier, 'cause he's so
of
good.
course,
Yeah.
just making holes for him and just let him get in the end zone.
Yes, sir. Well, Kingston, coach has talked to me about a lot of y'all's weapons. You know, you got some big receivers outside in Hicks and Reed. Reed's, he said, like 6'4", Hicks about 6'2", and then you got these slot guys like Jacoby Boom, and just kind of play all over, do different things. Um, what's it like having those kind of weapons to sling the rock to?
Um, to me, it feels like we're invincible on the offensive side of the ball. Um, my guys can go up and go get it, high point it. They can make unbelievable catches like Jacoby Boom. To me, I feel like he catch everything. Even the ball overthrown, I feel like he go get it, dive for it, underthrown, go get it. So it's been a blessing.
What's Slim Reed and Isaiah Davis bring?
Slim, oh man, he's like a he's like a Metcalf. So
I
go
gotcha.
get anything. Just throw the ball up, he's gonna catch it. Then Messiah Davis, yes, he's very speedster. So any like type of go routes, comebacks, he gonna get them at the line, out run you. So
Y'all run a lot of jet sweeps,
yes, sir, we do.
some motion like that. Those some of the guys, they get it.
Yes, sir.
Some of those
Jacoby
tosses and
Boom.
pitches. Nice. Well, guys, get a favorite pregame meal?
For me, it's Cane's.
Cane's
Yeah,
chicken.
yes.
Yeah, nice.
I could go. I'll probably have to go Canes too.
Yeah. Cane sauce, big fans.
Boston more, no coleslaw, extra fries.
Yeah. They don't even have ranch there.
I go
You
extra
know that? You can't
toast,
even get ranch.
bro.
You don't need it with cane sauce though.
Nah,
It's fire for sure. Who's the funniest guy on the team in y'all's opinion?
on the team, I was gonna say our
You're supposed to get extra reps. You better be careful.
on our team, I'd probably say Jacoby.
Jacoby. Yeah, that's what the other two guys said. What do you think?
I ain't gonna cap. I'm gonna have to agree.
Yeah. Nike, Adidas, Reebok. What's your favorite?
Nike.
Nike for sure.
Easily.
Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite NFL players?
For me, it's Jaden Daniels.
Nice.
I'm just a big LSU fan, so he came from there.
Yeah.
So yes, sir.
What about you?
I'll go Will Campbell. Take my game off him.
Nice. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you coming up here and interviewing with us. The Jacksonville Titans are on the rise for sure, and really good stuff we heard today from your coach and from your teammates. Good luck on the season, guys. Thank y'all for interviewing. All right, that was Jaden Walter right here in Kingston Burnett. Is that it? Is anybody else interviewing? Is that everybody? Okay. Well, I think we're going to close it out for Jacksonville. We've got the Bulldogs in the house, Bald Knob, coming up right after this. Once again, we want to thank Daiquiris and Dogs. Big time restaurant, big time sponsor here for Jacksonville. Coach Swinton was saying he goes over there all the time and eats, and one of the best places to eat around the Little Rock area, Central Arkansas. Go check them out, Daiquiris and Dogs. And I think the number are 501-517, is that 5616? All right. Well, we appreciate them. We appreciate First Arkansas Bank and Trust, Metcalf Trucking, Arkansas Tech University, Tyson Foods, D3 Auto Sales, Warp Stream, and Toad Thumper Lures. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, and we'll have Bald Knob Bulldogs in the house right after this.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
Well, welcome back to the Arkansas Sports Network's Football Friday edition, and we are only here sponsored by First Arkansas Bank and Trust. Thanks to them, we are able to put on events like this, and we are now joined by the Bald Knob Bulldogs and their head coach, Jared Barnhill. Coach Barnhill, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You know, you had an exciting season last year. Might not have panned out how you have wished it to, but, you know, it's a clean slate this year. What are you hoping for from this team?
Well, last year I was at Pulaski Academy.
Right.
And, these guys, just coming into them and getting there in January, one of the things I noticed about them were they worked hard. They're great character kids, very respectful. And whenever I get there, I'm like, how are you guys not winning? And it all came down to just doing football. And what we started in February with was we started 6:30 a.m. workouts where we're coming in and we're learning the offense and we're trying to pick up the scheme and everything. And they did a great job from February all the way through the summer. And they show up for everything. They're consistent. They work hard. They're learning every day. And that's probably the thing that I'm most impressed with is just their consistency. And kind of looking at this season, I think for them, and we're fairly young. If you look at our guys, we got a lot of sophomores. We got a lot of guys that they didn't play last year. They didn't play the year before. So if you look at our team, we look kind of young. Um, so the good thing about that is, uh, my hopes is that we improve week to week and we get better as we go throughout the season.
That's all you can ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Show me some improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you've been with them since February, and of course, as a new head coach, you got to get acclimated with a new system, and you know they got to get acclimated with you as well. So, what's it been like just learning these new players, kind of just getting put in a new system? Because I'm sure Pulaski Academy was very different than what it is at Bald Knob, and just getting to learn these new players. How's that been so far for you?
Yeah, actually, they're not much different. If you look at them, they're the same build, same type of kid. They're just kids, and they want to be successful. And for them, whenever we started learning, so we're going to blend majority of what we did at PA. We're going to take our vertical passing game, our sprint outs, moving the pockets, our screen game, our run game, and we're going to blend that in with what I did at Maumelle whenever I was offense coordinator there. And that was a lot of RPO game, protect our runs, quick game, stuff like that. So for them, just picking up, and it's not just, hey, I'm learning what to do on this play or this scheme, or it's for them. It's like the little integral parts of every single route, and that's kind of the difference in what you look at PA, like they've ran it for so long, and they've done the same thing since they're in the fifth grade. And by the time you do it from the fifth grade on up to by the time you're in high school, like every little adjustment, every little change that needs to take place within the system. So for them, it's just getting the base stuff down and learning what they need to do and do their job. And then you look at running the same system for the next however long. By the time these seventh graders are going to be seniors, they're going to be similar to what we're doing at PA.
They don't have to think about it.
That's right.
They just do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a react, and it happens. When you have to think about it, it takes a second, and lots of things can happen in that thinking part there.
That's right.
Speaking of the RPO and the quick game, like you said, that's going to be a big focal point of your offense. Who are going to be some key players on that offensive side of the ball that's going to make sure that succeeds?
Yeah. Well, you look at a PA offense, its focal point is on the quarterback, and we're gonna be exactly the same way. Our offense is gonna run through our quarterback. Now our guys are gonna have to make plays at the receiver position. Our offensive line's gonna have to hold up, but it's gonna start with him. Our quarterback Sefton Palomares, and we got and he's a senior, and then we've got a sophomore, Ian Perro, who's gonna be able to help us out as well. And he's probably going to be one of those guys that's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, kind of do a little bit of everything because he can also play receiver and he plays defense and he can do a little bit of everything. And Sefton, he can do a little bit of everything too. He's a good defensive player. He's probably one of our better defensive backs, but I need him to play quarterback. And keep him healthy and try to minimize his reps throughout the game so he can play quarterback at a high level. So it's going to run through him. We're going to be able to do some things with him where if the defense backs out and they're trying to play coverage, well, he's going to be able to run it a little bit. If they want to bring guys up, we got stuff. We got stuff built in within the scheme where we can get guys open, and that's the thing with him is he's going to be able to do all that.
Well, it's a plus when you got someone that can do multiple things, and then you got a backup that sounds like you're going to have to find a place to put him on the field just because he's that valuable. If he can do multiple things instead of just sitting around waiting on his chance to play quarterback.
That's right.
That's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, and we've got some other weapons too. Our senior running back Keegan Smith, he's a returning all conference running back. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. And I'm excited about him because, they used him to run up the middle a lot last year just from watching film and what he did last year. Well, he's going to be a little bit more dynamic in our offense where he's going to be on the outside. He's going to be split out at receiver. He's going to be involved in the screen game. So we're going to be able to get him out in space and let him play a little bit out in space, a little bit better and use his athletic ability and some of the things he's able to do. And we've got a good receiving core, a good core group of guys that I'm excited about. And they're learning how to make plays. Their biggest thing whenever we started 7-on-7s was they just they didn't have as many opportunities whenever you run the ball a lot coming off of last year into this year. Well, we're going to throw the ball a lot.
Right.
And it's getting those guys used to making plays and taking advantage of the opportunities they get because not everything's going to be wide open. Sometimes you have to make contested plays. And we've made huge strides in that area. So I've got guys that we're excited about, Bannon Kersey and Caden Grimm and Rylan Smith. He was an all conference linebacker last year, and he's going to play a little bit more on the offensive side for us. He's kind of our hybrid guy, that tight end, H back that can play a little bit of everything, split out, put his hand down on the ground, and he's going to help our offense really go. And we've got some good quick guys that can make plays out in space. So I'm excited about our core group of guys.
I remember the Keegan Smith name from last year and hearing his name called quite a bit, whether it was 3 yards up the middle. He got the ball a lot, it seems like.
Kind of going back to what you were talking about on 7-on-7s, could you go a little more in depth and kind of just give a deeper view on how it's went for y'all this summer?
Yeah, well, the main thing that's been so good with this summer is just being around the guys. Like this is my first year with them and us just competing together because I know a lot of people don't like the 7-on-7s, but for me it's an opportunity to see how my guys compete. I want to know what's happening with them whenever there's a little bit of adversity, whenever maybe not everything's going our way. Like I've got to figure out how we got to coach these guys and how they're going to compete, and it's just another way to compete. And our guys have gotten better throughout the years, and it's just doing the same thing over and over and being consistent with it. And I think that's the biggest thing about 7-on-7 is it's an opportunity to learn about your guys and be around them and coach them up in a competitive environment.
They can see how you're going to act. You can see how they act, get them a little confidence, get you some confidence in certain players. Hey, I know I can trust him.
Yeah.
It's 3rd down and 10. I need 11.
That's right.
I know I can go to him. He's going to catch it.
That's right. And I look at it like this: like we could be in the weight room and we can go through practice and everything, but man, I just love watching our guys compete, and I just love being in competition and coaching them up and helping them grow. And that's our biggest thing. Like I said, we got so many young guys and guys that played for the first time in a couple of years that we got to learn how to compete. And that's our biggest thing right now.
Just learning how to compete.
That's
And
right.
we've had 3 or 4 first-year coaches, and every one of them's echoed that same thing. Learn how to compete.
Earlier, we talked to Coach Donaldson from Clarendon. Their team is coming off an 0-10 season. He's a first-year coach there at Clarendon. He's looking to build a new foundation, a new culture there, and I'm sure you're looking to do the same at Bald Knob. They're coming off a 3-7 season. So, what was it like just being a brand new coach in the door in February, just getting these guys to know you and laying down the Jared Barnhill foundation there in Bald Knob?
Yeah, that's a good question. Tracus is a good friend of mine. So coming into this thing, I didn't really know what to expect. And one of the first things I noticed was our weight program. And Coach Bristow, who's our strength and conditioning coordinator, he was the defense coordinator last year, but he's transitioned out of football and he's going to be track and he's going to help with our strength and conditioning program. I was impressed with how structured and how well ran our strength and conditioning program was, and I was impressed with how well they lifted and how hard they worked. And so I was like, man, I don't have any issues with this. This is good stuff. And our kids were strong and they could move good and they had good mobility and everything. The biggest thing with these guys, especially whenever you got a team that's coming off of an 0-10 and 3-7 season, is expecting to win
Yeah.
because they don't know what that's like. And whenever you come from a program like it didn't matter who we played at PA, like we were small compared to everybody else, but we expected to win.
Right.
And I think whenever you trust your coaches, you trust your scheme, you trust your systems that are in place, I think kids start getting more confident and they get their confidence from, all right, if they do this, we'll do that. It's a lot of answers to within the program that the kids are confident in.
It helps also for the kids to get a little confidence. So if they get down 2 scores early in the game, they don't just fold up and say, all
That's
right, we're
right.
going to lose.
That's right.
No, we're going to battle back. We're fixing to make this a game. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just 2 scores. That's the mentality you have to, as the head coach, swap over from what they were. I mean, I've watched Ball Knob. They've been on Desert schedule for several years in a row. They're not on this year, but you could see that they would compete and compete, and then something adverse would happen, and then it was just like, yeah, no.
Yeah. And I watched film of them from last year, obviously, and man, they play hard. They get after it, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong, or it's in the second half, and they get a little bit tired. And I think, coming off of what they experienced last year, they didn't have very good numbers last year. We're around 34 this year, and we got 34 good ones, where not many of them are going to have to play both ways. And you know how that
That's
is
big.
whenever you got kids that don't have to play both ways. Well, now you're fresh on offense, you're fresher on defense, and you minimize those reps throughout the season and cuts down on the injuries. It keeps them fresh throughout the year. So, you know, we may have some guys that are young starting out, and we've had guys young starting out 7-on-7s and team camps, and we're just trying to give them opportunities to learn and grow and compete and get better. And that's kind of what we're going to use these guys early on. Like we need you guys to be able to step up and play, so it helps out both offense and defensively.
Just getting them more experience. I mean, if somebody goes down, you can interchange somebody that might not have been playing over there, but he can. He just hadn't had to. Now you have to.
That's right.
So now you got somebody that's not been just sitting over there on the sideline watching the game. They've been playing the game.
One of the bigger parts in high school football, in my opinion, especially in the lower classifications, is strength in numbers. Having multiple people that can play, and like you said, not having to run them on both sides of the ball. We just talked to Jacksonville. They said they had 64 guys. Of course, you're not going to get that in lower classifications, but having guys that can play both sides of the ball is crucial, and that's a strength for y'all having 34. What are some other strengths and weaknesses that you have seen so far just this summer?
Yeah, well, just talking about from position groups, I hadn't talked a whole lot about defense. I really like our linebackers. Our linebackers are tough. They're physical. They're fast in space. And I think with what we're going to do with our defense, I just hired Coach Lucas Tennyson from Hazen,
Okay, I know Lucas.
who's got championship experience.
Yep.
They came off of a state championship
Yep.
run a few years back. I really like him and what he's doing with our guys, and he played linebacker in high school, and he's kind of instilling that into those guys. And I think with what we're going to do defensively, those guys are really going to thrive at the linebacker position, and we got some good ones. And our secondary is going to be young, but they're fast, and I think with them, those guys are going to continue to get better throughout the season. Our D line guys, I like those guys. We got some guys that just play D line, but our offensive linemen, they can come in and play D line too. So with those guys, it's just being able to rotate and keep those guys fresh.
Yeah, if you can get some good linebacker play, that's where it starts on the defensive side. That way you can stop up the hole or chase the ball down, whatever.
That's right.
And we'll just tail on that defense again. You said it's a powerful defense. You really like them, and you like the linebackers. So are you thinking a 4-2-5? Or are you liking 3 linebackers? What are you looking at so far with this defense?
So we're multiple. One of the things that I liked at PA was we were able to stem our fronts and get in and out of different fronts and change fronts, right before the snap of the ball. And a lot of times that can cause confusion. So the good thing with us is we've got personnel that allows us to do that. We've got a linebacker that can roll down and he can play a hybrid end type guy. And we got guys that can move around a little bit on the defensive line that can play inside or outside. So we're going to be multiple. We're going to base out of a 3-4, but we can get into a forefront and we're multiple as where we're at on the field. We can be in a 3-3 stack, or we could be in a 4-2. Um, so the main thing with all that is just keeping things simple but look complex and allow your guys to play fast. And in our conference, everybody likes to run the ball, and it's getting enough hats in the box in order to stop the run game. So we feel good about it.
So you've mentioned PA several times. Are you going to try to mold a little bit of the PA mentality to the ball knob players, or?
Well, I think, that's just that should be
Right.
everyone's mentality. Just expect to win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter who they've got. And this is kind of the slogan. And I'm not a big slogan guy. Um, but whenever I first got here, everybody was so concerned about, oh, well, we're playing 4A. We should be 3A because we're 3A and everything else.
Right.
We're the lowest enrollment school in all of 4A playing 4A. And everybody was, we shouldn't be playing 4A. We should be playing 3A. And then we don't have this guy. We don't have that guy. We're not talented enough to be playing 4A. And my thing is we're not focused on what anybody else is doing. We're focused on us. It's eyes forward. We don't care about what's happened in the past, and it's no excuses. And I think if you can focus on those three things, eyes forward, no excuses, and just don't worry about the outside circumstances, and you're focused on you, I think that takes care of a lot. And that's that may not be the PA slogan, but whenever you just focus on yourself, I think that fixes a lot of
Yeah,
things.
Coach Smith from Desart, he said basically the same thing. That's Desert's motto. We don't worry about who over there. We worry about ourselves.
That's right.
We're the people that can beat us.
That's right.
So, I mean, I get that.
Thank you so much, Coach Barnhill. We're hoping for the best for you in your first year at Bald Knob. We're going to get a Bald Knob Bulldog in here in just a second for just a word.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got our Bald Knob Bulldog with us. What's your name?
Sefton Palomares.
Sefton Palomares, quarterback, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what are you hoping for out of this Bald Knob offense this year?
Like Coach Barno said, I really just want to focus on us and what we're doing, and really get down with our new scheme we have. We're switching it up. We've always been like run up the middle, just all that. And I really want to get the ball out in space and really see what we can do against our competitors.
Now, were you the quarterback for this team last year?
Yes, sir.
So what are you seeing different from last year's offense that Coach Barnhill has already kind of implemented into a new offense?
It's really just a confidence thing. Like last year, not a lot of people believed in our scheme and everything, and everyone got frustrated and everything else like that. But Coach Barno does a really good job of everyone's confidence, really believing that if you believe in your scheme and you really stick to it, that you can really beat anybody and compete. And like we played all these 7-on-7s, everything else, and like even if we haven't won, we showed that we can compete really with anyone with our scheme. That if we believe in it and do 100%, we can.
And he talked about the quick game, the RPOs, getting the ball out fast. Do you think that applies to your play style? Do you think that plays more into it, or do you think that could end up hurting you more?
It's definitely going to help me out a lot. I'm pretty quick, so I can get out in space. I can throw it a lot more too. It's really going to help me get out in space, get a lot more of our guys like Van and Kersey, Keegan Smith, all them guys out more in space, use their speed, athleticism.
And y'all still have a while till week one, but I mean, it's creeping up very quickly. It's going to be on August 28th against Mariana Lee. What are you hoping to see from this Baldna Bulldogs team come week one?
Just go out there and trust in our scheme. Just really put it into play. I guess first game of the week or first game of the season. I think it'll work out good.
And that was one of y'all's 3 wins last year against Mariana Lee, so that'll be a good way to establish a good start to the season, starting off with a win. Are there any quarterbacks you'd say that you'd try to model your game after?
Not really. I kind of just try to do my own thing. Really believe in myself. See what I can do.
And if you just had one message just for Bald Knob football as a whole, you being the offensive leader, what would it be for this team that's coming off not a great year, but looking to turn that around? What would that one message be?
Like Coach Barno said, it's really focusing on us and believing ourselves and our just confidence in that area.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sefton. We're glad to talk to the Bald Knob Bulldogs. We'll be back here in just a bit on the Arkansas Sports Network.
Sorry.